Yeah. Yep. I don't know how I'm going to do that one day. Right when the music ends, you're going to see this fucking mug, and then it's going to start. Hey, look at that. It's your favorite time of the week. It's time to geek out with your good friends here at the Comic Menu Podcast every Tuesday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We have an interesting show today. We had a few topics to talk about, but I think it's going to be overpowered. Yes, we're going to talk about Superman and the new trailer and what we think about that, and we might even talk about Dan and what his experience was at Motor City Con. But I think we actually might be talking about some crazy wackiness about some artists who might have copied something that put it on the cover. Regardless, let's talk about it with the man, my 1 hour friend, Dale. Look at that, my 1 hour
That
friend. That's
was
what I
the worst intro yet. I would think since you taking over the majority of everything, the intro would have been, come with some pizzazz,
No. I usually do that, but because you're here, I kind of toned it down because we got it, you know.
It was as good as J Rob's hairline. I swear.
Oh, J Rob doesn't even have a hairline. Speaking of J, you know what? Let's bring in J Rob. As a matter of fact, let's look at that hairline together. That doesn't exist.
I'm gonna be there too, J Rob.
You're a hater, sir. It's fine. It's fine.
Right? It's perfectly fine. I get it. And then we have
for once the show starts.
And then we have, look at that. We have Dan. Yeah, our man Dan.
Gentlemen.
All right. And this week we have brought back. He's been on the show a few times. We got Fable. What's up, Fable?
Station dudes.
Yeah, Station. One collection down on Instagram. Then we have. I don't even know if I want to bring him on because there's nothing there. But we have Ish in the background, and I'm not even going to bring him on yet because fuck it. Let's all be surprised. Oh, there he is.
Shame him. Oh, hey.
I am here. Shout out to everyone in this room. I love the people in this room.
What up, Peter?
I love everybody in this room. And what up, Dell? I love Dell too. Contrary to popular opinion, Dell is my dude. I just want to say something really quick because Dell typed in here. I love it. Dell said it's going to get a little bit messy, and I just have to be clear. The opinions of Issue X are the opinions of Issue X and Issue X alone, and do not reflect the opinions of the Comic Menu Podcast and its esteemed guests. They are my opinions. I want to be clear. Because I am no respecter.
My only disclaimer is I do tend to agree with some of your opinions.
Yes, that's cool. But I just don't want to be a respecter of person. So I want to definitely, in regards to certain things, so I want to definitely make it clear that if I express or say some things, they are specifically my opinion and not the opinion of Comic Menu Podcast, nor would I do anything to compromise you.
And just to be certain, Comic Menu Podcast, the majority, it's me, Caesar. But I think I'm gonna be more controversial today than you is, so I think you're good because it's been a minute since it's been
I like when Dell directs it towards other people. Dell, by the way, Dell, I thought you might be mad at me because I did come on here last week and mention that you wear a Lego headset. Like your Dell gets away with wearing the Lego headset, the Sesame Street,
No, you're good. It's been a minute since you actually got a good joke here and there, so I gotta let it go. It's like when J Rob's internet works. So once in a while, it'll hit. Oh, J Rob, I'm sorry, man.
We're starting early, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at J Rob's already starting to look like Max Headroom. As soon as you start moving around full, you start like pixeling like Minecraft.
Negative.
I don't know what's
negative, sir.
What up, Fable? What up, Dan? I love y'all, man.
Good to see you, bro.
Right. Well, let's bring this. Let's talk about this. We got we got the Grover. There you go, Tom. You got the Grover headset over there. What's up, Abby? Thank you so much for joining in. What's up, Pete?
Abby's not in tonight, they said. You got everybody signed in, but Abby's not available.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Remember, Dan, he doesn't read.
And he doesn't read. Exactly.
Where do you even see that? I don't see that anywhere.
Hold on. Let me do this. Hello. I got everyone signed.
Oh, isn't available.
Abby
Son of a
isn't
bitch.
available tonight.
That's crazy.
And that is
All right.
one half of the comic menu, guys. Don't hold it against us.
Okay. All right. I tell you what. So we have an interesting show for you guys. We have a lot of opinions on this show, and yes, me and Dow are the comic menu. Everyone else is their own individual. Comic Sense, we know Ish is from Comic Sense. Dan is from Dan. Fable has his own YouTube show going on. No one knows
Rob's a groupie.
Rob. Yeah, J-Rob's just a groupie.
I'm just
So,
playing pickleball.
See? You're talking, your lips are like a kung fu movie. You're the worst, man. Your internet is the absolute worst.
You said your lips are moving, but you lied. Never mind.
So Peter
okay. Peter already brought it up. Okay, so let's talk about the sort of late breaking, or
That's
it's
because
kind of
Peter is
started.
from Comic Sense, and we don't got time for games. We just get right to
okay.
it.
Wow,
agree, Peter.
damn.
I agree,
All right.
Peter.
Okay, all right.
I'm the one that brought it up to begin with, so come down.
Well, let's do this. So, for many of you guys who do not know, for many of you people who don't know, there was a exclusive that dropped, and let's see if I could
Show it.
let me see if I can show it.
You know, I thought when I saw the disclaimer for it, I didn't realize why it was a disclaimer. I thought it was because this is literally what I thought. I thought that the wrestler, the Boogeyman, the former WWE wrestler, because you know how Titan and how that one comic company is like taking all these likenesses and like what's her name? What's her name? The skinny no butt chick that sings that everyone Taylor Swift. How they put Taylor Swift and Stone Cold, and this one comic company is doing it. And actually, Ryan Kincaid was even talking about it when he was on with us. So I thought that this book was done by that company, and they took Papa Shango, or not Papa Shango, the Boogeyman,
Yeah.
and they did him like Darth Maul. And I thought that my assumption was that the actual person who played the Boogeyman felt some type of way for his likeness being used, because it literally looks like the WWE wrestler, the Boogeyman, on that cover. That character. It looked literally, when I saw it online, I thought it was the Boogeyman. They made him into Darth Maul.
Papa Shango. Papa Shango. All right. So this is the cover that dropped. It was an exclusive for Bird City. I don't know if somebody else was on there. And so while people are looking at this cover, they're going, hey, that kind of looks a little familiar. That kind of looks a little familiar. And now I'm going to show you guys what the familiar is. And hold on here. And how, God damn it. Here we go. What up? Where you at, Dale? And this is the familiar right here, is right here. So this here, I don't know if you guys could see it. Is that too small?
Too small.
Okay, hold on. That's the actual toy box of a Hot Toys. So yeah, it's pretty looks
Can
pretty
we see that again? Can we see it again?
You want to see what again? The original?
The toy, and then the original.
What that is? That's the cover.
We're not seeing anything, by the way.
Oh shit! Then I'm not changing.
I just want to throw my thoughts in here. So,
sorry, guys.
Copied or not, who's trying to get that cover? It's not all that anyway. I mean, I hate to be a jerk, but
It's not.
So I say nay, that this isn't. I think that people are making more of this than what they should be.
yeah.
What are you saying? Are you saying that this isn't the box cover to the toy?
It's not. I
Show
mean,
them
it's
the box cover.
Yeah, let me show you the box cover again.
The only thing different from the box cover is the hand placement in the front, and that's it.
is the face the same?
Basically,
Yeah,
And
they
the reason
just
why
kind of like.
and the reason why I'm saying this is because there was an argument that made. I'm not an artist. I don't want to offend any artists who are watching. Everyone else, Bird City, anyone else, I could give a fuck. But I definitely don't want to offend any artist in particular, including the artist on this cover or the original artist on the box. That's not my intention. Again, how many different ways can you pose Spider-Man before somebody says this pose of Spider-Man was taken from this pose of Spider-Man? Like, how many different ways can you pose him? They've all been done.
I can agree to you to a point. The thing is, there's been multiple allegations about more than this one cover. This one was way too similar for people to like, because they've been called out before.
Okay,
Right.
Who's the artist, first of all?
John
Who's the
Gallagher.
artist?
John Gallagher.
Who did the cover of this comic?
Yes.
John Gallagher, correct.
I mean, Yeah, you could now when I really look at it, I can be like, okay, he changed the arm.
He changed the arm.
We need to get this shit side by side. I need to look at this side by side.
Yeah, I'm looking at the body and everything. It does look like he actually just stole it and changed the arm.
Well, that's now that and he kind of inverted the. He kind of like did a mirror on the face. He kind of just flipped it. So, I mean, for me for anyone to go, it's too similar. It's probably not a good idea to even copy anything. So, before we went on, we had one of our friends, guests of the show, threw out there that as an artist, many artists take statues and all that, and they use it as reference, mainly for commissions. Some people say, "Hey, I really love that. I really love that saber-tooth statue. Can you draw that, but kind of add this and this and that?" Yeah, they'll do that for a commission work, but to put it on an actual cover, on an actual book, that's a whole different animal, right? Commission to commission. To actually do something and publish it, that's a different thing. So
a cover is a commission.
Yeah, but a commission is a one-on-one. So you're putting this on a book.
You're not giving it. You're not selling it to other people.
You're not selling it to like 400 people. I mean, it's 100 or how big the run is.
I mean, I'm not advocating, but what I'm saying is Bird City Comics commissioned them to do a cover.
So it's like when Disney.
Why Darth Maul?
Hold on. Disney will not go out for somebody that does a one-on-one cover, right? It's like, it's one-off. But if somebody's in a copyright or do something like them, and sell it, they'll go after them for a reason because now you're profiting off of that more than you should.
Okay, so the face is not the same.
Yeah,
just similar.
Yeah,
but it's Darth Maul. Like how many? You're like it's Darth Maul. So I mean, its face is always like. How can you argue one way or the other when it's Darth Maul? It's like his face is always like Venom's face is always going to look the same.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of an over.
And the funny thing is, I wasn't going to bring it up. I wasn't going to share it till Bird City Comics. They out of
What's up, Nick?
Whatever. But Bird City deleted comments of both covers. I luckily was able to get a couple of screenshots. And I'm like, if you got nothing to hide, right? If you think that it's not the same, why don't you advocate and arguing about it? Why don't you? Okay, yeah, you're right. It's not the same. But the thing is, he had so much in the background with so many other covers. There's a couple of other ones they're thinking of taking down, as I was told.
Don't close this picture yet, though. We want to talk about it.
You can go ahead and talk, but pretty much it's like you made it. Like we can argue about it. We like obviously Dan and Ish have different opinions, but the point that you're deleting comments and you actually said, "Hey, we want to be reputable. We're gonna take this off." Kind of like you're guilty. Pretty much that's what it is. Like I said, I wasn't gonna do anything unless you start deleting comments. Once you start deleting comments, kind of like annoys me. You know what? Why are you deleting them? Prove that they're wrong. Prove that you're.
Yeah, but
you're
I think the point of the matter is, what's the big deal? I mean, if anybody's buying a Darth Maul cover commission book anyway, it's not like it's a big deal. I mean, just let them have it. It's not that great.
So I'm looking at these two pictures, and I think that they're close enough that obviously there's questions that can be asked, and certainly as a retailer, I want to avoid that type of controversy.
Well, there you go.
If it's questionable. However, I will say that is distinct. Like it's close enough that we're not going to argue. If I'm a retailer, I would hear what people have to say. The face is not the same. It's not. The face is not the same.
Nick, it's fucking Dell. That thing's been going off for 4 days.
But yeah, that face is not the same, and that's like saying Venom's face is the same. Like, what are we doing? Like, literally, that's such a hard corner to turn. Now, where Dell is at, Dell, I'm with you all the way. Like, yo, what are y'all doing? As a retailer, as someone who has a large Facebook group, who has a large page, I don't delete anything. I'll leave it out there for public consumption, even if it's critical. I may not engage in everything, but I'm not removing it. Like listen, if people have fair questions and fair statements, and some people are trolling.
If I Google Darth Maul face, I mean, how many variations of Darth Maul face? It's all the same.
Exactly, I'm with you.
I mean, what's going on here?
So you can't tell the difference between those faces, Dan?
What's that?
You can't tell the difference between all those faces?
No.
Okay,
I
just
mean,
because you
how
I
many-
have
how
one
many-
good eye and I can tell there's a big difference in team.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, I know what you're saying, Dylan. I'm not criticizing, but I'm saying, how many variations of Darth Maul's horns and red and black lines can you make? I mean, the face is the face. I mean, I see what people are saying. I don't know though. I mean,
My first
Listen,
question.
hey, what's going on there, Brett?
My first
ahead.
question would be: Is that okay? The box art, is that
The
an
face
actual
is
photograph?
not identical, by the way. Whoever's saying that is just not the case.
Is that a photograph of the toy, or is that a digital render? That would be my first
No,
question.
that's the box. That's the box art for the toy.
Yeah.
Is it an actual photograph of the figure though,
this isn't
or
the
is it a
first time,
digital
by the way.
render?
This isn't the first time.
What is it
Yeah.
saying? I can't. You got to read it full.
It says, "Is John Gallagher the Greg Land of Transformers?" Because allegedly he did this back on Transformer cover, something similar.
That's what I'm
Allegedly.
saying. That's the thing is that if you didn't have a history of doing it, nobody would have probably questioned it as much. But since you do, fuck you, Peter. Since you do, and there's other Star Wars covers that's having issues, then obviously everything is going to be in a microscope. Like everybody's going to see every little thing.
Well, to give credit to Bird City, they're like, we're taking it down. We're not going to distribute it. Blah blah blah. They're going to do stuff, which is, I mean, they're going to get down to the bottom of it, right? They're not just saying, well, f you all, this is the way it is. But at least
Hold
they're
on. While you're
taking
talking,
something with
can
it.
you show those two up and down pictures once again? Because
Yeah,
I don't
hold
know
on.
what Matthew Wilder is seeing. They're not the same. One head is much longer than the other. Like it went from identical. They're not the same. Yes,
mean,
they're
to
making
me-
the
to
same
me-
expression, but the face is not
To
identical.
me, it looks like he cropped out the Darth Vader part because that's exactly where the picture ends on the black and white version.
And
he
one has a
moved
much
the
bigger
arm.
head.
He moved the arm to the side, but the sword comes out at the same
Oh, yeah.
point. So to me, this is a cropped out picture with a background change.
You
That's
see
what I
face-
see.
I don't even see the same face. I see one face is significantly longer than the other.
You know what it is, Ish? I got to be honest with you because I'm seeing what you're seeing on our screen right now, but then I go to my actual picture that I'm seeing, which is because of that bigger.
Mhm.
Hey Dale, can you send Ish the picture you sent me so he can see it bigger on his end?
I just texted you the article about the Transformers, and they actually give side by side of his Transformer cover that was a commission cover, and also allegedly the one he took it from.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of close similarities there too. I mean, it's a little bit uncanny. I don't
and
want
that might be a
Again,
resolution.
I'm not saying he didn't steal this. I'm saying that the fact that there's even a question as a retailer, I'm taking it down.
Yeah, but that might just be a
yeah.
resolution thing because sometimes you could crop things out, and depending on your resolution, it could elongate a picture, and maybe that's why you feel like the head is longer. But it could
Yeah,
be the exact same picture.
I just did that right now, and I fucking killed it or I messed it up. So that's on me because if I had time, I could probably done it better side by side. But that one was just real quick.
All right, so I just thank you, Dan, for that.
Yeah.
Dan, the best color man in town. He sent me the article. I'm going and I sent it to myself so I can open it here.
It was a bleeding cool article from 2019.
Yep.
So it's pretty.
Okay.
They actually took the covers. They said, okay, here's the covers, and they actually dissected the pictures. And there are, I mean, look, I don't mean to like throw anybody under the bus, but those are really close. I mean, I don't know,
Hold
man.
on. Who's beeping? Who's the one? Am I like?
That's
turn that
Dell.
sound
That's
off?
Dell. It's Dell.
You know?
Dell's
I
always-
don't hear it, but
Dell's-
they do.
Yeah, because I'm like.
Don't you hear that?
myself
Come
up.
on, man. How do you not hear that?
It's because I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing.
It's 'cause he's
Okay,
wearing
here
those-
we go.
Legoland.
Because he's wearing the Grover, as Thomas said, the Grover
Is
headset.
that a
Okay.
ferret behind you, Dell?
Oh, what?
A ferret?
Where?
What kind of animal is that crawling behind you? The other side.
Don't ask questions, honestly.
The
Oh, my
cat.
cat. Oh, I didn't see him there.
Okay. All right. So this is the what we talked about, right? This is the
That's his cover. That's the Gallagher
This-
commission cover. or the
Okay,
retailer.
that's the Gallagher, right? Okay, now if we go down here, boop 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 boop. That
Now they're pivoted differently, but if you keep scrolling down, they actually do side by sides of some of the elements of the picture, and like there's the side by side of the legs, and I think they do a gun hand or something too, and they're pretty friggin' close. Again,
that looks more like a swipe to me than what the other one looks like, though.
There should be another one here, I think, about the hand or something like a. Yeah, a little bit more.
it's unfortunate. There we go. Okay, so there's the leg by leg. There's the arm and arm. He just added, just some stuff.
Boo this man.
What?
Boo this man.
For doing this, you're saying? Now, does your opinion?
Said on half baked. Marijuana is not a drug. Boo this man. Boo this man. He's not.
Somebody said, "Just pull the damn fire alarm battery out, for God's sakes." pull the battery out of the smoke detector.
Hey, you know what's pretty bad when the fucking smoke alarm is the star of the show.
People are joining just to hear the.
I mean, people are joining just to hear the beep so they can lull themselves to sleep. It's like white noise.
But why don't you stop it, Dale? What's going on?
He's got more important things to do.
He has more important things to save the family from carbon monoxide. I could save my family from carbon monoxide, but it's right there. I'm too lazy to fucking get up and change the
battery out, man. How are you good with this, bro? Dale has no comebacks either. None.
He'll be all right.
Actually, I was going to say something, but fuck it.
Well, you know what, though?
The only reason you don't hear nothing because being, a darker skin color,
Dale always goes there.
Because
why is Dale always the one who goes there?
I lived through it. I lived through it 100%.
Oh. No,
well, if your house catches fire, you ain't gonna live much longer through it. You need to change that damn battery.
You better. Hey, Dell. Honestly, get enough. Listen, bro.
I think we bought one. I'm not too sure. But look,
Dale, somebody sent you a video of Photoshop.
Anna Joel.
Oh, Anna's out. Anna, how you doing, Anna? How you doing? It's been a while. Anna.
Hey, Caesar. My question.
Yeah.
What is the problem with this? Is the problem that they think he copied and pasted it, or that he used?
Nah, bro, that ain't my house.
The same image.
I don't get down.
No. I think they're saying that he used the same image and then just manipulated it. He moved the arm. He did this. He did that, and then that's about it.
So what's the problem with that? Artists use figures all the time. They use hold on. They use other artists' covers. So if that's the case, we should have a problem with every homage cover that's out there.
Nah, man, homage cover is different.
No,
I disagree.
An homage. This isn't an homage.
Gallagher actually drew that.
What is the problem? I started out in the camp.
I want to know what the specific problem people have.
But I'm sort of gravitating toward
inspiration from a figure. A lot of artists, that is very common.
No. He didn't take inspiration from the figure. He took inspiration from the art. He took inspiration from the art on the box.
It's a picture on the box.
Yeah, the art
of the figure.
It's art.
There are actual figures that artists buy specifically for that.
But we're talking about the art.
Hold on. Is the problem that they think he copied and pasted this, and that he did not traditionally draw this, or that he looked at something and he just recreated it with the skill that he has? Which I want to know what the specific problem is.
To me, he stole another artist's work
and
tried to pass it off as his own. And that's the problem to me.
And this isn't the first time either. If this was isolated, he's like, oh, my bad. I mean, we just pulled an article from
it's plagiarism
6 years ago. I mean,
why don't artists get the same protection if you can't steal what I write? If you can't say, it's the same thing essentially.
That's why I asked if it was a photograph of the figure, because if it's a photograph of the figure, then you can just take that figure, move it a little bit, and draw it. You know what I mean? And just
the exact same thing I'm asking.
Yeah.
Exact
All
same
right,
thing
all
I'm
right,
asking.
all right, all right, all right. Hold on, people. We got some stuff here. So Anna sent us, well, to Dell. Dell sent to me. So this is what I'm about to show you. Anna's going to send a video of another cover that he did. Okay, she's going to show the almost overlay. This is an actual video I'm going to play here. Hold on here.
And it's a picture of Dell in a bearskin rug. We're all gonna just like die.
God, that is disgusting. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. You guys see that
Yeah,
video,
really.
right? Okay. I'm going to play the video and here we go. And now here we go.
Okay, take a look. This is the cover. This is a photo from the Sideshow toy. So this is the body of it. All right.
I mean, come on,
Layers.
guys.
That's the body.
Who sent this video?
This is
the
Anna Zell.
arm.
God
I know.
damn it, man. She like I have no talent to do any of this shit.
This is the arm.
Well, she's an
but
artist.
the
So
same-
She's an artist too.
I mean,
the same model, but a different image. So he used
send Dell a 9-volt battery, please.
it's the same arm. And from that same image comes a lightsaber and the back arm, which is also a 1-for-1.
That's crazy, man.
Fuck.
So Anna is like fucking Sherlock Holmes over here, and
I know.
You know, I mean,
Yeah, it looked like a crop image to
Okay,
me.
take a look.
It looked
This is the cover.
all right. Let me take this up. And thank you so much for that, Anna. Appreciate it.
I want to say something really quick. I want to speak to something really quick, and I want to separate my opinion from anyone else's. First of all, we have a term called plagiarism, right? And it means something, right? I've been plagiarized. I know what it means. I know how I felt when things that I wrote were taken and I was not credited, and it was used in a forum with thousands of people. And I watched thousands of people praise this person for literally stealing my exact words, my phrases, the whole nine, and passing them off as their own. So when you look at an artist and you speak to the integrity, when you speak about integrity and you think about an artist, I personally may not feel some type of way. I may think, oh, it's no big deal. I may want to ask a question, or I may question, why are you upset, or what have you. But I'm on the outside looking in. It's incumbent upon me to listen to the artists and really understand how they feel or how they're impacted by something like this, because I'm on the outside looking in. So I have to learn from you. I have to listen to you and hear. And I can say, well, it's no big deal. Again, I'm sitting on the outside. I'm not an artist. It's not my work that's being stolen. I'm actually sitting on the outside. So when we ask these questions and we have these conversations, J-Rob, Fable, Dan, everyone in the room, Dell, when we ask these questions, right? We can ask these questions. We can sit in this forum. We can ask these questions. We can debate these things. But when the artist is saying, yo, I'm impacted, and this is how I'm impacted, we have a responsibility to listen and hear that. We have a responsibility to listen and hear that. I just want to say that.
I just want to say, for the past 2 minutes, you all didn't hear that. I actually put the battery in right now. So
I know it's great.
I found it.
You just saved yourself and your 12 kids. Hey, you know the thing. This is the other thing too, is that to say to J. Rob's point about what's the difference? How many ASM 300 cover? When you see those covers, they're known. Well, I hope so. The thing is that it's one of those things that people say it's an homage cover. Hey, it's obviously an homage cover, and it's produced as an homage cover. But something like this is not an homage cover; it's a complete swipe. And you said at the beginning, Ish, if it's creating enough buzz to people go, wait, well, hold on, it's too similar. Don't do it. Don't publish it. Don't release it. Don't whatever. You don't want any of that kind of controversy. But then again, people say, right, any kind of publicity is good publicity. If you're that kind of business, I believe Bird City is not that kind of business. I think they just were surprised. And
I think they're as much of a victim as anybody that bought the book. There's no way they're like, yeah.
Man. Dell don't want to hear that. Dell do not want to hear that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, right, when I post something like this, I usually will get messages of like certain things. I'm not gonna say who or what, but they're not victims. You know, if they've been called out before, they had other history with other bullshit. They're not victims,
Yo,
and
don't
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend because the moment like I was telling you, I haven't posted drama in a minute or any bullshit. But the moment I did, I had messages in my thing like, "Hey, this is what happened. This is and that. Now that's bullshit. This is like." Hey, and then when Dan's over here trying to be, hey, they're victims too. Like, no, I can't let
Ricky,
that
you ain't a victim.
But this is the thing too. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna play the ignorant here. Until it was brought to my attention, and I saw that Darth Maul cover, I wouldn't think twice. Honestly, I'm not hip with all the toys. I'm just statues. I'm not gonna say toys; they're statues. I'm not hip, right? If I was deep in the statue and I was a Star Wars collector and I looked at that cover, then I looked at that statues that I have here and I'm going, wait a minute, it's the same thing. Okay, cool. But for people like me who's not in the know of certain statues, I could, and I see it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It looks great. Let's run it.
Thanks,
until
Dan.
somebody brings to my attention and says, hey, by the way, there's a statue with the exact same thing. You bring it to my attention,
Caesar,
I'll be like,
can I
oh
ask
shit.
a question? I mean, so Del, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough. You're closer to it to me, but for Bird City to be complicit, they would have to know that John Gallagher was topping that cover on site. So are we saying that they knew that? Because I'll be honest with you, like I almost kind of wish Sam was here because he just had that Exquisite Corpses book drop. I mean, if the artist draws Exquisite Corpses and you look at that and you go, oh, how will you know if you've seen that before or not? Like, I mean, okay, if you've seen it, great, but if you don't, how will you know?
I call that cover in the mode of J. Scott Campbell. It wasn't a J. Scott Campbell copy, but it's very much the long legs, the whole nine. Which, but I want to speak to what Jay said because I do agree with Jay. Essentially, and no knock on any artist. Essentially, why do we care? We don't until the artist cares, and until the artist feels some type of way, and then if we have any type of integrity, right? Then you feel some type of way about this. I didn't know. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. I do care. I don't want to put my name on something that compromises something that you've done or compromises the integrity of this or that. I don't want to do that, nor do I want to proliferate that or support that because ultimately it hurts artists' ability to do what they do. If we accept it and allow it and push it and put it out there and we just allow it, then what recourse do they have?
But don't you feel like in the litigious society we live in, for Bird City, so I see what Anna's saying, and you might be right, I don't know, but for Bird City to come out and say, we pulled it because of this, you're opening yourself up for potential like libel lawsuit or something. Like maybe just by pulling it and taking the comments down and just acting like it didn't happen, you're sort of avoiding a whole future of like, litigation and shit. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I can understand from Bird City's standpoint why they don't want to go down that road.
Nah, hell no. I think you said something because I have no problem. I have no problem looking anything in the face and saying, "Hey, this is what it was. I didn't know. My bad. Let's talk about it." If y'all want to, I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
Right. Kind of like what I said, right? If I was doing this, I would straight up say, "Hey, everybody, my apologies. I had no idea there was a statue about this. I'm cool, and I'm going to pull everything. I'm going to cancel everything. If you guys pre-orders, whatever it is, gone, refund, done. We're going to go on. We're going to do something else. My apologies. Hey, I really honestly didn't know." Then people could say, right. Like DJ said, yeah, Caesar, you have a point, but the Star Wars people will know, which is true. And who's going to collect that book? Star Wars people. Let's be honest, right? Star Wars fans, Darth Maul fans are going to collect that. And if you're a Darth Maul fan, you probably have a statue or at least know what they look like. And you're going to go, hey, wait a minute. So I get it. And like I said, at least they canceled. I get it.
Can you post Anna's most recent comment? No, her most recent, the top comment.
This one or this one?
That one that you just kind of glaze over. That one. First of all, Anna, thank you. I really appreciate the education.
Yeah, that was a great.
That class was like dope. Thank you for coming on. It was good to hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Right? Like really, again, we're on the outside looking in, so I really appreciate that contribution.
Honestly,
yeah, no.
Like I'm pretty sure Bird City was hoping Okay, they'll delete the comments. It's gonna everybody's gonna forget about it. But we do have some responsibility as a big platform with a big following to bring it up. Sometimes I've been like, okay, ignore this and that. I shared it, right. I'm kind of like, we'll see what happens. We'll see what people see. When Anna, Miku Suyan, right, those two, and Will, I think it was AI, people commenting like, oh, I look into it a little bit more. I look and I get these messages. Like, okay, the information is brought to me. It's a lot easier. Like you said, people wouldn't know. I probably wouldn't have known. But since all that information was brought to me, it was a lot easier for me to say, no, they're not victims. No, they had a past. Because there's people that Anna says that they think they're ignorant. No, they've had some other issues in the past. They've taken down books, but not said why. And they're over here, and like to where Anna said, like they're looking for these artists with 200K followers, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna pay them X amount, and like thinking and trusting them 100%. They're not doing some research, so I want to say they're 50-50. And I would have been more like cool with them if they didn't delete comments. If they dressed a little bit better, hey, we felt this situation. It's not gonna happen again. We're gonna be more thorough in the future. Shit like that.
But Del, your problem is you give no AFs, and that's the problem. Like you give no AFs. Like if I'm Bird City, right? I'm making a video. I'm not only out in front of it, I'm on top of it. Like I'm making a video. Hey, people, this is what happened. We're appalled. Da 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 da. I'm gonna try to get the original artist from the box on. We're gonna talk. And Del, if I'm you, I'm gonna report on it, but I'm gonna reach out to Bird City. Hey, bro, I'm gonna report on this because this is what I do, and I want to let you know, yo, this is what I'm gonna do. You can ride with me, or get out the get out the way. But this is what I'm gonna do. So then you not on here feeling no type of way. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is what it is. We're gonna report on this because this is what we do. We got 100,000 people. You can get out in front of it, bro. You can come on the podcast tonight. You can get out in front of it. We got 100,000 people on our podcast. I have a responsibility to report on it, and I'm going to. But
I see you, Dan.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
No. Dan keeps feeding me stuff, and the more you look at it, right, Dan, the more damaging it looks. Let's be honest.
Tough. I mean, but you know what? Then you see some of it, and again, Anna is way more credible than me, and that video is pretty damning. I mean, you can't really say much about that video, but I will say, in what J-Rob is sort of getting at, there's a lot of tactics that artists use, whether it's copying models or using models for reference or doing overlays. The more you read, it's not uncommon. It's just sometimes you're unlucky you get caught. I mean,
well, right. that leads to a question I wanted to ask all of you, because
it just
the
sounds
reason
like
I asked in the first place if that was a digital render or if it was a photograph was because if it's a photograph of a toy, then that means it's a photographer, right? They didn't draw anything. They just took a picture, and this guy just took that picture and photoshopped it, right? I'm not denying that he stole it. He definitely stole it. But artists like Mike Delgado, Adam Hughes, they take photographs of people all the time, and they just draw the same face. And it just looks like art. It's digital, but it's their face. I mean, how many times have you seen a Mike Delgado comic and say, hey, that's Billy Bob Thornton? Well, that's Edward Norton. And the same thing with Adam Hughes. So it's like, if you're copying a photo, is that still the same thing? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well,
that's in this case, he didn't copy a photo. He copied the art on a box.
But that's what Greg Land was.
Was that art or was it a photograph?
So Fable, that's a big thing. That's one of the big allegations that continues. I mean, decades later, follows Greg Land, that he was not only copying artwork from other artists, but he was also copying faces and poses from like pornography and putting it into his art. So I mean, I don't know, but I'm saying that, I mean, either way, does it make it better if it's from a photograph or not? I don't know. I mean,
I would think that to your point, Fable, I would think the box, the cover art is just basically representing what's inside the box, right?
So it's a digital render, then you would say. Because
that a real high def picture. I'll tell you that.
I'm a Transformers fan, right? And my toys, usually the figure that they show on the back of the box, it's a digital representation of the toy. It's not the actual toy.
Nobody took toy.
a picture of it. It is an actual like 3D model that is as close to the toy as possible. But it's still, I consider that art, right? Because somebody rendered that, somebody drew that on their computer from scratch. But if you're just taking a picture of something and then you're drawing that picture, that's different. I'm not saying that's not what this guy did, by the way. I'm saying this guy totally stole that picture and photoshopped it. But you know, it's like a slippery slope kind of thing. And I'm just
Liefeld got accused of this shit in the 90s with X-Force. They said he was.
But he did it though.
What's that?
He did literally swipe poses though.
From Kirby.
From a lot of people, not just Kirby.
The allegations were from Jack Kirby. I mean, like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but.
Well, so we're stepping into a slippery slope here because for the purpose of a comic book conversation, which is fine, we're debating or we're trivializing if photography is art, and we know that it is. Like, we know that photography is art. You understand what I'm saying? So that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yep, there you go. So, you know, it.
Yeah.
You got that one. How about this one right here? So I took one look at Gallagher's Facebook page and scrolled through about 4 to 5 projects and immediately said to myself, he's a picture manipulator. It's blatantly obvious, sort of surprises me that the comic shops don't do their due diligence. You know, for they do theirs, you know. So I don't know. I mean, you know, we could talk this until the cows come home and you know,
I mean, I think in the Bird City, and I don't want to put Bird City in that category. When you speak about due diligence, sometimes due dollars certainly supersede due diligence, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Look at Ian's comment, perfect.
Some people compromise their own integrity because of it.
Well, this is something that won't stop. It's going to continue on. Whether it be now or sometime in the future, we all know we've seen this before. It seems like there's always something every year, something going on. What's his face also? Like there was years of, was it last year that what's his face was accused of AI, who was a Bettina?
And Anna and Steve said it. They only care for money. It supersedes due diligence.
No, I mean it is.
I don't think that's exclusive to LCSs though. That's friggin' everybody anymore. Everybody, majority of people are greedy. They put money over everything.
Oh my God, who attacked John Gallagher? Damn it, man. Y'all are crazy.
You're gonna get us canceled, fool.
It's interesting though when you say that, DJ, when you say that, Diageo, y'all really think a business would jeopardize themselves for this one artist. Think about it. I just sold a book today, The Thing, with the cover B by Greg Land. Right? Like, he's not going anywhere. No one's chasing Greg Land out of the industry because he's guilty of still, like, he's still getting covers. Clayton Crane is still, he just did the 1 in 100 of Spider-Man versus Wolverine. So people forget.
He got
they
behind
move on, they don't care. You know what I mean? And retailers, you think a retailer's business, a comic shop is gonna go out of business because they did an exclusive cover with John Gallagher?
Nah.
This is the thing. We're not saying that John is not talented. We've seen some of his work that's not swiped or whatever you want to call it.
He's got lazy.
Dude's good, you know. And it's always with those people that you hear about. Why does he or she have to do this? Because they're pretty talented as it is, right? Let's go to a sports analogy. Why did Barry Bonds have to juice up when he was pretty talented as it was? Right. And it's like, it's just one of those things that you want that extra edge, or maybe it is cutting corners. Maybe it is getting lazy. Maybe you just want to turn tables and
don't leave
move on to the next project. Go ahead.
I don't want to leave. I'm already done for the hour.
Yeah.
But since Anna's here, if y'all can change subject to the pricing, because we talked about Clayton Crane. His signatures are getting expensive. And that's one of the topics. We just change things. We can. We had an hour about that. I'm gone, but Anna's here.
Yeah. How are you going to tell us to change the topic while you're
leaving?
Anna's still here. We have an artist in the comments section.
Yeah, you should bring Anna in.
Hey, I'll send you the link. Great. Caesar said on if you want to jump on her.
So
She
ask her.
doesn't give a shit.
And do you want to jump in or not? You don't have to if you don't want to, because if you want to, if you can, cool. If not, let me know.
We're all jerks up in here.
Peace, everybody. No,
Not all of us.
Yeah,
Sid.
People isn't and Dan isn't. Everybody else is. But later, guys.
All right, fool. About time. Damn. First of all, kudos for Dell. I don't know how he got on the, I don't know how he got
working.
I don't know how he got on the ceiling to change the battery, because this fool's like 5'4", and he must have jumped on like.
What, you
12
old bitch? You fucking bald-headed bitch. Fuck you. 5'8".
Oh my
I'm
god! I'm glad Sam's not here. You might feel
Why is that?
No reason.
So
Because he's short.
let's do this. As a matter of fact, right? We went an hour on this whole thing with about swiping and all that. So let's do this now. Something was brought up. Dan, as a matter of fact, Dan recently came back last week, and he was at Motor City Con, right, in Detroit, and Dan brought up a point, and I think we've all seen this, is that the pricing of the artist charging for signature remarks, a face remark, a bust remark, a full body remark. I think Jim Lee does charge about $1,000 for a half a bust. It's getting a little kooky out there to enough where people are just like, no, that's cool. First of all, I don't want to wait 2 hours. Second, I want to drop a shitload of money on a signature. And not only that, they're also charging sometimes really high dollar for just a photograph, right? Just a little.
I definitely look at, and you know me enough to know, Caesar, by now, that I appreciate creators. I mean, I know that job is a passion job. It's a grind. I mean, I respect the work, and I never want to devalue anybody's work. Money's not a bad word to me. I mean, like, we're making money to do things. So, but I've noticed that, like, and it's hard to say this without coming off ungrateful. So just, take it with what it's worth. But you pay to get in, you pay to park, you walk in the con, and now, I could see if creators show up and they're like, okay, one signature is free and anything else you're going to pay. I get that, right? But some creators are like $30 a sig, right? $30 a sig. I mean, like, if you bring a couple books, you're out $60 just at one table. I mean, like, again, I'm grateful I could go and do that, but like, is everybody like independently wealthy but me? Like, I'm just asking because like I'm dropping $30 here and there, like it's fucking nothing.
Right.
And there's some artists that are like, no big deal. Yeah, no, they're like,
Sounds like you're the only one of us that's independently wealthy.
I don't know. Man,
I
feel poor.
Yo.
I feel poor when I go to these things. I'm like, dude, I come in with money and I bring money, just to have it. And by the time you're done, you have no money, cash off. You're like, fuck, that's all gone. I just got signatures. I didn't even buy anything. It's crazy. So I don't know, maybe pitching, but it's getting crazy. I was at Terrificon. These guys are charging you $100, $150 for up to 3 steaks, and you're in and out. I mean, it's just like a meat market. They're just shoving you through. It's like, fuck.
And I don't know if you're joking or not, but $20 for his first name and $30 for his full name. I don't know if you're joking or not, but would it surprise me? Nope. There's some Frank Miller, right? Someone said Frank Miller needs to change his prices because it's his is going a little crazy. The Cranebow, right, and all that.
Yeah, that
good
is
stuff.
dumb. You got to pay more for colors. That's stupid. I'm sorry. Like, that is dumb. It's dumb. Dumb.
There he goes. She's not joking.
I want to cut you off. I have to say this because y'all might not like what I have to say about this. As far as charging for signatures, and I just said this to someone recently, right? It all depends on like what it is we're doing. I don't think that. I think signature prices should not be. I don't care who you are. Most of these people, and I said this, like most of Robert Downey Jr., if he sees you in a mall, he's going to give you a signature for free. He's not going to say $150 because that's what I charge for CGC. You know what I'm saying? He's just going to give you his signature, right? But then when I'm now in the meat market, right, at the con or what have you, first of all, I don't think signatures would be expensive. Pieces of art, remarks, well, that's subjective. And the reason why I say that's subjective is because a lot of these artists today, like who knew that Andy Warhol's soup cans in movie posters were going to be, hundreds of thousands of dollars pieces of work, right? Like we didn't know. Jim Lee is, and again, and I've said this before, right? Today, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, they are this generation's Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. Like they're this generation's Disney characters. So when you're talking about pieces of art from certain artists, you know, when does that artist move into that territory where, you know, I do think Jim Lee, I do think Todd McFarlane, I do think people like these Art Adams, I do think that their artwork should not be, even a remark shouldn't be, you shouldn't be able to get it for $30 at a con. I'm sorry. I mean, listen, artists are like iconic now and moving into like.
I don't disagree with you, and I think you're making good points. And I think the whole Robert Downey, you see him in a mall, he's already out and about. You're there, cool. There's a different notion when you having somebody come in out of town. They're in there to make some money. Like I get it, but like this Jeff Loeb signature, $30 a pop, $30 just to sign his name.
I saw you there at Instagram. I saw you.
I appreciate it. For $20 more, he'll draw that on that for you.
That's ugly.
For $20 more, he'll remark it.
That was a $20 remark?
For $20
He's not an artist.
Oh, he's not an artist.
$50.
He's not.
But he is not an artist. You're right. You're right. If that was drawn by the Picasso, I'd be like, that's not too. You know what the hell's going on there? So Scotty Young charges 10 for a raw and 30 for graded. That's pretty good. Hey, $10, man. You know, $10 times how many people are waiting in line? That shit adds up.
And you know, before we even started the show, I said, look, there's a balance. Like, fine, $10 a signature. Okay, whatever. Or first one free, $10 for each additional, whatever. But I think $30, $50, $100. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Maybe I don't understand money like it's. I don't know anymore. I mean, it's just crazy.
Listen. I would charge a fucking ton. I would bleed. I would be like the cartoons. I would pick you by your ankles and shake you till every single fucking coin comes out. And then I would just spit on your book and then smear it. And that's what it is. You get a spit bow. That's what you get from me.
Prominent authors like Anne Rice and Stephen King that show up at bookstores and you just bring your book and they sign it.
That is true. You know, that is true.
Everybody is not of that caliber of an Anne Rice or a Stephen King who get millions of dollars just in their advance of a book.
I could give a fuck. I don't want to pay $100 for you to write on my book. Like I don't care.
But again, remember, your opinions are just your opinions.
Yeah,
that's not that person's opinions. If this is their livelihood, you got to think. If they do this cover, they got comp whatever they were paid, maybe some books. Now the only time they're profiting off it is when they go do these signings. A prime example. Hold on. A prime example is the cast of Lord of the Rings. They filmed all three of those movies at the exact same time. Elijah Wood, the star of the movie, made $175,000 for all three of those movies. Not each, total.
So
hold on. The only way he gets paid and compensated when he goes to these shows, he takes these pictures. I'm not trying to
paid for the contract.
I'm not trying to justify saying, hey, charge $100. But that's the only way some of these people are getting their money.
So I gotta contest what you said because I don't think the analogy fits what we're talking about. The only way he gets paid is by receiving what he gets for the contract for the work he did.
And that's the same for an artist. That's the same. If I'm commissioned to do the cover of a book, I get paid to do that. It doesn't matter how many units of that book sells.
Right.
I don't get a percentage of that.
So what are we talking about?
That's what I'm saying is them going to cons and them signing books.
Them to get extra money.
That's how they continue
to get any money.
Continue to get paid. Yeah, okay. Because you said the only way they get paid.
That's what I'm saying. No. I'm saying from that.
We're talking about
if I'm commissioned
the total. We talking about actually what they charging versus them getting paid at all. We're talking about them charging like $30.
No. I said I'm not advocating for the prices of.
Yeah, I'm not saying they shouldn't charge.
Yeah, again, you say Stephen King, Anne Rice, J.K. Rowling. Those people are on different tiers than other artists. All these artists are, like I said, they don't get multi-million-dollar advances and get these big paydays. So the only way they're getting paid is by doing that. So some of them are going to charge more. And again, I'm not a signature person. I don't care.
I don't want you to write on my book.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want
you to write on my book. I don't want
But
you to
then-
draw in my book. I don't want you to write on it.
Yeah,
but
but there's a
then you also gotta
huge
think,
market
too.
for that right now.
Hey,
Like
Yes.
gigantic.
And
You
you
know?
also have people who go and they'll come get that signature and they're going to turn right around even at the same con. So I bought this book for $10. You signed it for $10.
This is
And I'm going
Superman
to turn
flying.
around or whatnot the minute right while I'm at that convention, and I'm going to sell this for $150.
Yeah, but this
They
is
just want their
Superman flying.
want their portion.
If I turn it this way, it's a bottle of aftershave.
And so, no matter what way you turn it, it's still garbage. That's
So you should have been charged
hysterical.
$40. You should have been charged $40. So Anna's saying, so as a comic artist, some feel like they should get paid a bit more due to a streaming making extra on streams because being a comic artist doesn't pay much.
So
Yeah.
what do you? What
And
do
that, and
you-
that, and that I
then
do. I
even
do
if you
recognize.
design and create your character, you don't have ownership of that
you don't own
character.
it.
yeah, but I want you
So
to
unless
put
it's an
Anna's comment
independent
back up.
character, that's
I
it.
want you to put her comment back up.
But
because
can I
think
say something real quick, Ish, and Anna to your response, and I do, and I want to let you know, like, I appreciate creators. If anybody knows me, that's one thing you know for sure. I was surprised from Jeff Loeb to get that kind of price because it was literally on the back of Long Halloween that just got released. So it's not like he's like trying to get work out there. Number one, he's a well-known quantity anyway.
Hell.
And I'm thinking, why like $30 a sig? Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
$30 for the raw sig, Dan?
So
Just a
so,
sig.
Yeah, that
so-
seems
so Anna.
that seems a bit
here's
a
the
bit
thing,
much.
and I'm curious about this, and I would like some insight, right? Because I don't know what streamers you're kicking it with. I'm a streamer. I don't make much from streaming, so you know what I mean. Listen, if I can bring an artist in, I'm generally sitting down and I'm like, yo, how can we make money? So is this a collaborative thing? Because when you, I'm new into whatnot. So if that's what you're referring to, I'm new. I have a very small following. I do not make a lot of money on whatnot, right? I do a lot of my stuff on Facebook streams. So
Exactly.
so
That's the point, Anna.
so
Like, especially as an artist.
I
you know?
totally understand that. But again, okay, so I get paid $50 for a fancy sig. Okay. So if I brought you into my shop, right, you would make more by far than I would make for what you charge for your sig. Like by far. I would make not pennies off of that. Like by far. So that's what I'm getting at. Like, is there a collab going on where we're sitting down and we're saying, because
Ish, there's straight up companies that have been formed off of this alone. Like Comic Sketch Art is probably one of the largest companies that facilitate signatures and sell art,
well, that's what I'm asking.
do
about.
commissions, but they started out as one of us who would go to a con,
Hold on. Before
go
you
get all these
go
SIGs
into
done
that, hold on,
ish,
'cause
submit
Anna's-
through CGC, and then they would sell them. And then what Doug did was he started repping artists so that artists get a cut of that. This started in like 2012, like far back when CGC SS was just like in its infancy. You know, the SIG room blew up on the CGC forums, and then they turned it into an entire business model. And now it is dominating the con scene. So many artists are getting repped because they get a cut and because they can charge the premium for their SIG, whether it's raw, graded, whatever, and also charge premium for their commissions. They don't have to deal with the headache of the customer service aspect, which is a nightmare in the commission space.
But how does that compare to everyone who's not them? Because most people aren't them, right? And me, like, I'm the Robin Hood of the unfair market. I'm literally the little guy, and 90% of the people that I rock with are the little guy. We're not them.
True, but all these little guys who start off as folks that you and I just discovered their cover maybe last month, they go to a con and they're scooped up within 6 months. Some of the newest artists
What do you mean?
are being
I'm not talking
repped
about artists. I'm not an
by
artist.
these huge.
I'm a streamer.
Okay.
So as
a streamer, all you're going to do is make money by going up to them, getting a raw SIG, and going and flip it on your stream. That's it.
Hold on. Let me just. I appreciate what you're saying, but I'm trying to get from the artist. I'm trying to hear what they. So I'm trying to get out a point to them. So I'm not these people, right? So that's why I'm trying to figure out who she's referring to, because I don't know them. I've never met them. If I bring in an artist, I'm not doing what you're saying I'm doing. I don't even know anyone who does that. I'm sure there are. I don't know. I haven't met anyone. I don't know anyone who can take somebody's signature and go flip it for 100. I don't know people that can do that. All I know is if I bring in an artist, I want to collab with you. I want you to make money. I want to be able to make money. That's all I know. That's the only way I know how to do it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what you guys are describing. What she's referring to is something that I'm trying to be educated on because I don't know it.
If I went to a con and I brought a short box of books and it was free SIGs all day, which a lot of artists used to do that, artists and writers. So you would have the guy with the wheelie cart going up to the table, dropping 100 books down on the table.
How many times at New York Comic Con has this shit gone off the rails in front of the Peach Momoko booth because she doesn't?
Well, that was a
okay, but see,
crazy.
my understanding,
but
is,
like
Anna,
that's
if I
all
brought you
people
in-
did. Ish is they brought books there and then they would go flip them online. You can still do it easy.
Oh yeah,
You just
easy.
bring
Yeah,
books there, get them signed, put them on eBay.
Well, so
So
then
artists
I'm-
want to cut. So
then
that's
I'm-
when they started charging for SIGs.
So then I'm looking at this wrong because my thought process is if I bring Anna in, I'm paying her to come.
I'm not talking to you about coming to your store. We're talking about they're charging for SIGs at a con.
Yeah, but
And now they're charging this much
I'm speaking to
because of that.
Specifically, what she said about streamers. I'm not talking
It's
about a con.
different streamers though, dude. Like streamers that are actually at the cons doing.
Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. I just want to clarify. I'm speaking as a streamer about what she said about streamers. That streamers are making money so that that's specifically what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So-
I think you're talking about two different types.
What? And like
Yeah,
Anna said,
you're
there's
talking about
two
something
different things we're
different.
talking
I'm talking
about.
about what she was talking about, Sam. I'm not talking about what you're talking about.
No, I think
she's
you're
telling you
talking
two
about
different
something completely different, Ish. You are a new comic book day streamer. You are not a go to a con,
That's no, but I know what I'm talking
put
about.
comics
Yeah, but
immediately
Sam, I know
up.
what I'm talking about though. I'm
Do
talking
you
about
though? Like I'm telling you, there are people who literally go to every
Go to
single
con.
con,
but that's
and
not
it will
what
be
you said.
your Comic Con stream, and then
Okay.
boom, it is every single SIG they got that day.
Okay, but
Like,
that's
that's what she's referring to.
okay. I
Yeah,
don't know that.
because
That's-
you
I
and
don't know
you and I, Ish, we're not streamers. We are every Tuesday, and once in a while you on your podcast, and me every Tuesday. Streamers are the ones, like he says, the ones who go and sit down next to Anna and, hey, I'm here with Anna Zell. How you doing, Anna? Blah, 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 blah. What are you doing now? And they're showing the SIG and, well, you can pick this up, blah, blah, blah. You can come to the table, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Do all that. And then they go to Ryan Kincaid's table. Hey, this is Ryan
Yeah.
Kincaid here with Cesar Morales. You know, those are the things. Get out of here. So the thing is that those are the streamers. Yeah, they do get a little bit of cheddar. And so two
Okay, so
different
at
things
this
for the
point,
word.
though, my question has not been answered at all. So I want to be very clear that I was speaking to specifically what Anna said. So if there is a failure to articulate either from my end or from whatever's going on in the chat, because I am not clear. I understand until it is clarified, either Sam, whoever's in the way to know. What do you mean by streamers? Let's start there.
Are you talking to Anna? Like what kind of streamers she's talking
like,
about?
Yeah, what type of Because I
So,
don't know. So just to clarify, because I
So
think Sam
I'm
is
gonna
talking
say-
about cons, and I
No,
don't.
right.
I don't.
I
know
think
what that means.
Anna. I wouldn't be surprised if Anna's talking about either Whatnot streamers because they will stream Whatnot. Streamers will stream live from a con and sell their books next to the artist who's selling their exclusive or whatever it is, and they will be charging right then and there for SIGs.
Okay,
and
so
stuff
Anna's
like that.
asking me what my exact question is.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, and so she's answering. She's saying influencers, Whatnot, and Facebook and eBay Live. So
Yeah,
those type of things.
exactly.
She's not
So that's
talking about
circles.
cons. So
No.
that okay.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
what I'm referring to. Those type
Now,
of streamers.
okay, right. So
So-
so those people will go to a con and stream
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
But
yeah, from Facebook, Whatnot, and eBay Live.
Okay, but I'm assuming she's referring to those who are like influencers on their platforms or what have you. That's
You know,
that's
the
what I'm
ones-
gonna go with.
Ish, what is
The
your
ones-
question?
So my question is, that being the case, right? Because as a streamer myself, if I were to bring her in, my assumption is I have to pay you to come in.
We've
Hold on.
we've had Anna on a few times.
No. But that would be my assumption. That would be my intention, right? To collaborate with you, that I'm paying you whatever your fee is to bring you in. If you got to come, stay in a hotel.
Gotcha.
I'm paying for the hotel.
Gotcha.
I'm paying for
Yes.
da 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 da. Then you and
Yes.
I are going to sit down.
Yes.
And we are going to collaborate on what
Yes.
it is that we're going to do when I go live or what have you. Okay, she said yes, no, we make it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm getting at.
it-
Sam, I'm not disregarding anything that you said. It just didn't help me because you're talking about I don't associate the two. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a different type of
When
streamer.
I
don't go to
when I was
con-
at Motor City Con-ish, when I was at Motor City Con, I was talking to Coley from Mutant City Comics, right? He's in Indiana.
Mhm.
I'm at the Jeff Loeb table. Coley rolls up, literally with a dolly, 2 short boxes of just Jeff Loeb books, just all different ones. He's taking them out of the bag and board, putting a stack for Jeff to sign. Jeff is fitting the regular people in. Then he'll go back.
I'm aware of all of this.
No,
I
but
just wanna
what
make
I'm
sure
also
it was
saying is like
not lumping the two.
So-
And there was a I wasn't sure. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying so on one end, Coley is going to take those books, he's going to sell them on his eBay Live. He's got an eBay Live going thing. Then the next night, Coley goes live with Greg Land. Live, Greg is doing sketches, selling signatures, selling signed books. I mean, these guys are constantly creating avenues of revenue for these creators, and they're probably doing some kind of percentage split. I don't know. I mean, assuming that's gotta
the
do
thing
with-
is, it's just part of the business now. Like, so at Heroes Con that's coming up, Scotty Young just sent out a newsletter today, and it said there's limited spots for it, but for folks who want bulk signatures, which is a minimum of 100, you can email his rep, set up a time slot, and raw books, $10 a piece, graded books, witness sigs, $30 a piece. But you could get as many as you want. Doesn't matter.
Comments died.
Which is awesome.
Oh, did the comments die for you guys?
Yeah, they died.
Yeah, the comments just died.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
what I was just asking.
It came back to me though. I see him.
Yeah, I don't need
You guys don't
Yeah,
see
I
them?
see them.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
all.
like,
As long as Fable sees them, that's all we give. That's all I care. Fuck
Yeah.
you guys. I don't have Fable on here that enough times.
Yeah.
That's a way in which like the artists are adapting, because how often would you see someone go up, like you said, Dan, with a short box full of books and then just like, I just wanted to meet my fans. Sign one.
I tell you
books.
what. I
That's
tell you
it,
what,
you know?
Sam. I love that method for the
Yeah.
artist because it's unfair, and we've seen it. It's unfair when you're waiting in line and the dude in front of you who smells like fucking hot Cheetos and he carries a wagon who's carrying who's
the
pulling
worst. The
pulling a
worst.
wagon,
Yep.
who has a neck beard, and he goes, can you sign these 400 books? And he's like, oh, come on, man, and
My
some of
buddy
these
and I used
artists
to
are
call them
really
the rolly
good guys.
cart guys. They always
Right.
have the
And
rolly
some of
cart.
these artists,
Those aren't the ones. Caesar, those aren't the ones. Don't get me wrong; they hold up the line. The ones who are who are really
Yes.
profiting are like Sam said. They contact them, they set up a time, they go and they just roll in all this stuff into whatever room they're in, and they sit there and they just sign for hours. The same thing athletes.
yeah,
do.
but
and it's still in
as
the
long
room.
as
Well, those are the
Yeah.
partnerships now that have been created because of that. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's awesome that CGC does
That's
cool, huh?
send-ins now. So any fan could send in a book that they want. I mean, Ish, you and I have taken advantage of Sig
That's
Series
actually one of Anna's
opportunities
books.
quite a bit. I mean, it's incredible. The artist gets money. They don't have to, get bogged down, with a million different things while they're trying to sign. You do it in bulk. You're out. You make their money. Yeah, you make your money. CGC, I'm sure, makes their money. And fans that would never have the opportunity to get out to a con to see you are bigger fans of your work. Oh, there's comments.
There you go.
So I tell you what, because if it's for me, it's out of sight, out of mind. If some dude sets up a time, some artist sets up a time to meet a bunch of dudes to sign 400 books, and it's not during a time when there's 300 people waiting in line to get their little personal book signed out, I'm cool with that. I don't give a shit if he goes to McDonald's and signs it. If he's not in my time, in my line, taking my time, then I'm cool with it, right? So, but it's and it has happened in cons because we have enough people who go cons and tell us all these stories that they're waiting in line to meet their favorite artist, and they have that whatever book they want to sign and remark or quick little thing, and the person in front of them has a short box
Basketball.
for these signatures, and who's going to flip them the minute they walk away and go on Whatnot or eBay or whatever it is and flip them for $50 extra, and they will sell because there's many people who cannot go to these cons, so they rely on people like them to get it signed for them, and they'll pay the premium. They don't give a shit, right? But yet there's those people behind the line going, oh, fuck, it's almost equivalent to like you just cut in line, which they didn't. They're waiting in line just as much as you, but now they're signing 50 books. And then the guy goes, all right, guys, I'm going to take a break. Whew, my arm is, I got to take a break. And he takes off for 30 minutes. Now you're waiting in line for him to come back. Dude's pinching a loaf because he had fucking Chipotle.
Caesar.
And now you're waiting. And now you're waiting.
Food truck, Caesar. It's a
right. And now you're waiting longer. Now you're waiting longer.
I was also don't forget about the jokers that get early admittance and they buy up as many of the exclusives or make sure they're in line before the general public gets there so they can buy them all up and then get them signed and then go sell them at a premium.
So
we can't get them.
To rein this in, because we kind of just now we're really just highlighting some of the complaints and the negatives, and just to rein this in, first of all, Anna, thank you. It may have been my failure to articulate what I was getting at, but you have completely and thoroughly, and I'm reading your comments, answer my question, and I appreciate that. I just want to say that there's an interesting dichotomy here, right? It's very difficult, right? And it comes down to integrity, which we spoke earlier about when it comes to, people wanting to make money. It's just what it is, right? Where's the balance? In my mind, when I go to a con or what have you, I want to have like 1 or 2 books. I could care less about somebody writing or drawing on my book, right? But I also care as a creator myself, as a streamer, as someone, and you guys know, Sam, you know me, J Rob, y'all know me, right? If I bring in an artist or I work with an artist, I want everybody to win, right? Like I'm the Robin Hood of the unfair market. So I want everybody to win. I want to establish relationships. I want to be able to continue to work with you. I want you to come in. I want you to feel like it was worth your while. I want it to be worth my while as well. So for me, when I go to a con, I'm not looking to get a signature. There's like 3 people, you know what I mean, in life that I have to really just love. It's got to be Chris Claremont on an X-Men book, or Sana Takeda and Marjorie Liu on a Monstrous book, or you know what I mean? It's got to be something very important or special to me. Otherwise, I just appreciate your work for what it is. But yeah, there's an interesting dichotomy between the retailer that comes in with a short box, because you're right. And, when you think about it, it comes in with a short box. And I know that if you sign, 50 of my books, remember it happened here in Buffalo with Stephanie Phillips, right? Like, she went to a private signing. We brought her here. Actually, she was amazing, by the way. We brought her. She was here, but she lived here, but it was very amazing experience. But then she came in for another signing at another shop, and another shop went in there. I'm not going to say any names. Sent one of their workers in there with 100 books.
And signed in front of everybody.
She made her. Yeah, it was terrible. She had a very bad. She tweeted about it. It was terrible. It was horrible.
Yep, and that shop told me that they bought nothing from the shop too.
Shout out to Dr. Stephanie Phillips too, by the way, who was just a gentle.
But let me say, but that's also up to the artist too, right, or the creator to go. I'm not signing a whole 100. If you want me to do this, set up a different time with me, but I'm not going to do it.
You don't understand. Dr. Stephanie Phillips is an amazing person.
Yeah,
she's not going to say no.
Not going to say no to you. You know what I mean? And she's just a dope person.
I get.
I'll tell you though, it just depends on what the setup is too. Like, I was just at a signing where Matt Rosenberg and Tyler Boss set up at a local shop near here, and they had all their back issues of What's the Furthest Place from Here, 4 Kids Rob a Bank, We Can Never Go Home, and I go, okay, like I need some of these books, and they're like, every single book that you buy, we will sign. Shoot, yeah. Like we've got time. I'll even draw on them right now and remark. Yep. So Tyler Boss and Matt Rosenberg signed 25 books for me that I purchased from the shop, and he was clearing out backstock, so they were all clearance, which was nice. That's cool. He remarked, gave me a free sig.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Buy
from the shop.
Exactly.
That's what Midtown did when I went to see Danny Warren Johnson when Energon was rolling out. And they did the Transformers, and they were doing. They had the GI Joe ash can, which wasn't available, publicly, but Midtown had it. And they allowed you to they allowed 5 of your own books, so 5 you could bring yourself, and then anything additional you had to purchase from them, which they had readily available. They had a bunch of Transformers #1s, a bunch of G.I. Joe ash cans. So you had to, on top of your 5 that you can get for free, you had to, if you wanted any more, you had to buy the books from Midtown. And I'm pretty sure they were compensated for their time by Midtown as well.
Yep. There's a lot of retailers who are starting to do it right. I think when it comes to partnerships with writers and artists, there's a lot of folks out there who are still, and to each their own. Like if you go to a con and you spend however much money and you want to get a couple SIGs to try and flip, hey, by all means, do it. But when you're bringing 100 books, come on.
Yeah.
You need
Come
to-
on.
Tell you,
That's crazy.
I was telling this to J-Rob. That's almost like, that's why I don't bring my own books to cons. I told J-Rob when I was getting ready to go to Motor City, I was like, it's a freaking hassle to go through all my shit and figure out what books I'm going to bring. I'd rather go there and buy stuff at the table and let them sign it right there, because I feel that at least I'm supporting it. The problem is when you buy, and like you said, and I've had this a lot of times where they're like, we'll do whatever you want. If you bought it, here you go. There's still other people that you buy, and then they're like $30 a SIG, and remark on top of that. It's like, holy shit, when's enough? I mean, that's not everybody. That's a small minority, but
I mean, we were just
feels like a
looking at
dagger when
prices
that
for Dallas, Fan Expo Dallas, and I mean, these guys have earned like their clout, but like Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, for their like 6 SIGs, it was like a 3 SIG guaranteed combo from them. I think it might have been some other stuff in the package. It was like $175. I'm like, oof, but at the same time, they're huge. Like,
well, yeah.
If you try and get in their line wraps around all of Artist Alley. So I guess like it might be worth the money at that point.
But
I like the I like the idea of, hey, I'll give you a free SIG, but you got to buy from this actual place. I like that idea of, you buy from the shop I'm signing in, and I'll sign it for free.
Yeah, but then Anna, it goes back to Anna's original point too, right? Which is what y'all were, kind of educating me on. It's like, okay, well, yeah, if because when Stephanie came in, and I'm just thinking about that, right? It was a situation where the retailer, he didn't even want to. She lived here, so we just Trobes and I reached out to her.
Yeah, she just wanted to give back to Buffalo.
She just wanted to give back to Buffalo, so we reached out to her. This was during COVID, and she's like, "Listen, I'll just come to your shop. Don't worry about anything. I'm just gonna come to your shop. Don't have anybody come because it's COVID, and I'll just sit down and kick it with y'all for like 2 hours." And she did, and she just signed everything. And she was like, "Yeah, give me more. What else y'all got? Like whatever you have." And we kicked it. I interviewed her. The interview's online. Check it out. And we kicked. She's awesome. Very, very awesome person. And she just kind of wanted to give back to the city. She was getting ready to leave. She was moving away soon, and she just wanted to really just give back. No one had called her to ask her for it. She lived here, and no one had ever even thought to do it. And she, and I don't know what he sold those books for. I don't know what he did with them, or what his intention was behind them, or what he sold them for. But when I think about that, because he's the same person that went into another shop and had her sign 100 copies of Grimm #1. So when I think about that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, yeah, Anna's right? Like she signed everything. She signed Harley Quinn toys. She signed so much. She drew Harley Quinn remarks. She did so much. She just was like, give me more. I'll do more. And so it was like, okay, now you have hundreds of copies of her signature that you can upcharge and do whatever you want. And she didn't charge you anything. She charged you nothing. $0, and you can upcharge. I don't. What was he selling her signature for, Sam? Do you remember?
I have no clue, because I didn't pay attention to that retailer.
I mean,
there's
like Tinyan came here twice.
Tinyan,
yeah.
This
didn't charge a dime when he was.
I was ready to leave
last year
camp until Exquisite Corpses. It brought me back.
Were you? His whole team was here for like a Tinyan summit. Like when they designed Exquisite Corpses, they did it. They finalized everything in Buffalo, and they had a Friday the 13th party last October here, and the whole crew signed every single book, no limit, didn't matter what it was, for free. Like it was, and I don't know what was in it for the shop, but they've hosted now two signings, and they just did the Tyler Boss, Matt Rosenberg signing. So hopefully
I-
we get some more, but it's been awesome every time.
Caesar, can we get the
I-
comic back up?
I will say, well, I changed it because it froze up on stuff like that. As you well know, things in this community, things said, things done, spreads like wildfire, right? Being that all it takes is like what Anna said, some are very nice, but it gets word. Hey, did you go?
Can you
Go
blame
get a
her, Jason?
signature. Go to Anna Zell because she's fantastic. She's this, she's that, and stuff like that spreads like wildfire, right? Because what's the first thing you hear about somebody? Oh, I'm gonna go get a signature from Joe Blow. That guy's a dick. Oh, really? Like, yeah, he was a dick. And then you're like, huh? Why? Why went up to him? He didn't even look eyes at me. He didn't do shit. He just signed it. He basically did a few dots and then he whatever. So you're like, oh, yeah. But then it's the opposite. Oh, I'm gonna go see, Jane Snow. She's fantastic. She talked to me about 5 minutes and she's doing a small remark. Word of mouth, it spreads, right? I could say a lot of good things about Anna. I've met Anna a few times, and she is who she is, right? But there's some people that we hear about, some certain artists that are dicks, straight up. And they're dicks to their fans. They don't care. It's almost as if they don't even want to be there. And you think to yourself, well, do you kind of sympathize because they're going to be here for 3 days, 2 days, sitting there and constantly, it's a lot of work, man. I got to be honest. If I was
And
an
what
artist,
if you just got a jerk, like one person before you? Like, how do you reset? Are you always able to reset? Not necessarily.
right? Because you're going to want that one guy who wants to tell you his whole life
That's it, man.
story.
Some people feel like they're owed.
Some people feel like they're owed. That's right.
Yeah.
Can you guys see who can't see the chat? If I take this off, can you guys all see the chat now?
No.
No.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. I'll just leave this
That
back
sound
up.
like
Yes, again, it goes
conspiracy.
back. It goes back to these dichotomies where it's like, what the fuck? Excuse my French, but it really is like, what the fuck when it comes to not just this industry, but industries and integrity, right? Because some people feel like they're owed. Some people feel like, yo, you are only able to do this signing because I bought copies of your book and I show up and I support you or what have you. And people feel that way. It's just, it is what it is. People do feel that way. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. Well, the reality is one hand washes the other, right? I always tell people this, and this is one of the things that I say, and it's very interesting, right? I have people in my group. I have a Comic Sense group on Facebook. It's a spec group. And I've had people say, yo, remember Sam, when they used to get at us when we used to do our shows and they say, hey, don't give the spec? They always say, yeah, don't give the spec, don't give away the spec. And I always
Gatekeepers.
right, gatekeepers. And here's the thing, and this is what I used to say. This is the thing.
My favorite.
There's a book called Monstrous. It's my favorite book. I think it's the best
one of the best
book
books.
in print, period. And I'm always promoting it and pushing it and getting people to buy it. And there are people who tell me, yo, Ish, it's hot. It's a best kept secret. We want the value in that book to stay what it is. And the only way the value can stay what it is if the print run stays low. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, I love this book. And if you really love something and you love what is this property,
Then you let it go.
You
and
want
it
the
comes
creative
back and
team to
forever.
eat. You want the creative
Yep.
team to eat. You want them to be successful. You want them to sell hundreds of thousands of copies of the book so they can keep putting the book out. So it can, like, you actually want them to be successful. You actually want them to shine because what you're reading or what you love is dope. So
Yeah, but
it's
they don't necessarily love the book or the team. All they love is the value,
the value that
which
they
is
can get
the
from
wrong.
it, which is absolutely the wrong
wrong
way.
I
let
love
me
that
ask you
some of my
guys.
books are valuable. We love
Me
when
too.
books pop, but at the same time, like at the end of the day, we would be nothing without these creators. We would have nothing to talk about,
You would have nothing
nothing
to
to
talk about.
adore, nothing to love,
What?
nothing to
you
go
know
out
what?
there
I
and
have
get
a.
behind.
Sam, that's why I was very delicate about, like, on the one end, I certainly don't ever want it to come off like they don't deserve what they get. They deserve the money.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a grind. But on the same token, I'm looking around at the group of people in the con with me, and I'm like, unless everybody here won the fucking lottery,
Right?
they're all going to
No,
leave here, and they're
Yeah,
I
going to
agree with you on that.
You really humble me,
I've
Peter, man.
opted
Thank
to
you, bro.
not get signatures and not get commissions because some rates I just go, man, like I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, but you know,
afford
but you
or
guys have to, but you guys have to remember,
that.
a lot of these people save up months upon months upon months for the con because they're gonna go balls deep on signatures, books, statues, whatever. They're blowing their year's worth of geekdom
Oh,
at
yeah, I
that
could do that.
con.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
you know, if you save 300 a month, or if your con is 6 months away and you save up hundreds a month for 6 months until that con, you're loaded. You have that separate checking account. You're dropping coins on that stuff, and that's the way it is. You blew your load for the year, and you're happy as shit. They're happy. You're happy. You're walking around still smelling like hot Cheetos, but you're fucking walking around with the stuff that you saved for.
I mean, that's
And
why
that's
New York
just-
Comic Con is my favorite time of year.
And that's why I'm done with Comic Cons because I'm fucking old and my knees and backs can't take that
come on.
shit anymore.
But
I'll-
it's
I'll-
also,
I'll roll you around.
I'm sorry.
We'll have a blast.
It's also a reflection.
He's like,
Sam,
oh, look,
Sam,
here comes
Sam,
the
Sam,
ramp.
Sam,
And he
you
rolls
weren't
him down.
supposed to say that. You weren't supposed to say that on a live stream, bro.
So
Say that in
basically,
the back
Sam
channel.
is
Like, when we
planning
got
on.
live. Like, you're supposed to say that
Sam,
in the
you
back
plan
channel.
on getting Steven
Wait. Sam was so happy in the background to get kicked down out of the. You should have seen him. His
I'll
fucking
roll you around.
waving around. Okay, hold on. Go ahead, Fabe. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say it's also a reflection of the amount of money that this business has generated in modern times. That it's you know, you always hear this. I started collecting back in 2019, from back in '91 when I was like 11 years old, and I stopped collecting. I started recollecting in 2019, and the first thing I heard that year was, "Comics are dying. Why are you buying this shit? Comics are dying." And I've seen nothing but an explosion of people, like Dan is saying, who can afford this stuff? Somebody's buying these $16,000 books.
Yeah.
Somebody's buying these things. So there's obviously whales. There's obviously a big interest, and it's just the times have changed. Because I have a friend who used to go to cons when cons were in basements, right? And he used to go see guys like George Perez and John Byrne and all these guys, and Len Wein, and he used to get their signatures for free. And those guys were just happy that anybody came to see them, that anybody knew who they were, right?
Like, they'd sign on the inside cover.
Yeah,
of the
like
cover, right, on the splash
happy,
page.
But that goes to show you how times have changed and how much money has been generated in the past few years from this hobby. And pop culture in general.
And you know what my worry
So
about
much
Fable is?
money.
Fable, my worry is
What's up,
that
Tyler?
you start to see the prices increase, like at this trajectory, right? And again, if you can get it, God bless you, go for it. But you see the money increase at this trajectory, the price, like, okay, signatures, like, for instance, if you can charge 30 today, you're not going to charge 20 tomorrow. You're going to charge 40 tomorrow. You're not going to go down. You will never see prices go down. But as those things start to go up like this, whether it be a signature or a ticket price or whatever, parking, whatever the fuck it is, salary goes up like this. So we're making less, we're getting charged more. And it's like, this gap is fucking huge. And you don't want to. And here's the thing. I certainly don't want to lump in the creators like the Annas and the Stephanies with like the exorbitant athletic salaries and these contracts these fucking athletes get. I mean, that's bananas to me. But like at some point, the scale's gonna tip. I mean, you're end up gonna bite the hand that feeds you because there's not gonna be any money to go to these.
It's interesting though too, Dan, because like the money, like you said, and like Fable said, like it's someone has it because it keeps growing. So there's a good if you follow comic art fans at all, you know, I have a good friend who works there, but modern comic art in particular has blown up in recent years to the point where monthly they're tracking what comic art is selling, whether it's modern, vintage, whatever, what have you. And modern comic art has started to outpace vintage comic art sales. And it's
did you see what Anna said earlier?
Astonishing.
She doesn't
do SIGs. She just does commissions. I mean, you've seen my stuff, Ish. Like, I do modern pages if I can afford something, a cover and commissions.
I had a Denny Frisson piece in my hand. How many days ago?
Yeah, there's nothing better than
Came into my shop.
working with one of your favorite artists and going, hey, like, all right, what
couldn't
are your
afford it.
rates? Cool. Here's the character I'm interested in. Work your magic. Whatever you want to do.
At
And
a
then, like,
$5,000
getting that surprise
anniversary
at the
feature,
end of a con and just going, wow,
I
that
couldn't
is
afford it.
incredible.
But
Some of the
it
pages
speaks to what I
for-
was saying earlier about how these artists, they're in the 21st century, they're our artists, right? They're our Picassos or our Warhols. Like that's what they potentially are.
I mean, Alex Ross paintings are 20 grand starting.
Yeah. Some of the
Starting.
DWJ pages
Oh,
for the Transformer
yeah.
1
Comic art is phenomenal.
it
With
went
what you
insane on Felix. Like it was
Yep.
crazy. I was like, wow, who's got this cash? But somebody has it.
Dragoda.
Do you remember in the height of
also-
COVID? Do you remember, Sam, in the height of COVID where the everybody was rallying around LCSs, let's save our comic shops, and so artists would get on board and do commissions. Like Jim Lee was doing a ton of that shit on eBay, and his commissions were going for like 50 grand, like 60 grand for these pieces of art. I mean, it was bonkers, and not that he's not worth it, but it's like.
I mean, but you see what Todd McFarlane is doing off tapestries on whatnot, and congratulations, that's dope. You know what I mean? Like that's really dope. And the reason why, listen, I grew up reading and enjoying these writers and these artists, and so for me to see them get to this point where people who aren't even in the comic community want to drop like $8,000 on a Todd McFarlane tapestry, or some guy from Sri Lanka wants to drop $11,000-$12,000 for a piece of Jenny Frison work. Like I love it. I love that the community has this type of impact on culture, on a period.
Like there's something going on in like I follow wrestling podcasts, and they started this segment called like give your flowers to people while they're alive. So they bring on these people who are modern day classics and they praise them before they died. Well, there's a lot of comic artists who have sold all their pieces way too early.
They didn't start that.
They don't. Whatever. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, but this is like what I think needs to happen. Like, people, like artists, should make their money while they can. Like, I don't know if they should overcharge, Dan, but if you could sell your banner, like Art Germ sells his banners signed and remarked at the end of every con, and they go for thousands. Like, make your money, man. That's great.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, that's why I said I have to be
that you
really
gave someone for a commission for $2,000, like 5 years ago, they sold for $24,000 or however much they've been going on Nerdcrawler, which is
look, at the end of the day,
crazy to watch that.
At the end of the day,
happen.
when you see
like,
big mansions,
go get it.
When you see big mansions, or you see like Lamborghinis, or you see shit like that, those things are made for people with that money. I mean, I get it, and I mean, all money. I hope nothing but success for these creators. It's tough, but I guess
Todd McFarlane's making no more money off of those Spider-Man covers anymore. Like, that's done and gone. Like,
That's the argument I was making earlier.
That
for as far as a signature, as far as you signing something, meh. I'm gonna say that, but is everything else like, yo, get it? And that was the argument I was making earlier. Like, I really think that these artists and a lot of these writers, because I have a high degree of respect for writers as well. These are the people that are going to become the iconic, your Banksys along with them, of the 21st century. Like, I really think that they are, and that, yeah, man, y'all should be able to make money off. If you do a remark, man, you should charge. My man KD charges $60 a remark, right? Like, if you do a remark and you're going to push
like the going rate,
I feel like you should be able to get paid off of that. I don't think you should be doing remarks for $10-$15, man. Fuck out of here. It's be able to get paid. If you're gonna draw and you're an artist and you're gonna say, hey, I'll draw in this book, whatever I choose to charge you is what I choose to charge. Now, you just can't be Carl from around the corner.
No.
You know what I mean?
I think I've seen Humberto Ramos remarks for like 100, 150 for Spidey. So if that's what he's charging, then I would expect most artists to be anywhere around like $30 to $60.
Let's be honest.
Remark. If not more.
People are gonna charge, people are gonna buy.
Yeah.
I'm
very selective of how I spend.
It's a very simple concept. If they're charging $50, $60, $100, $200, they're charging that for a reason. You know why? Because people are spending $200 for it.
Listen,
if they were charging $200 and nobody was buying, and I do mean say 3 days worth, and they're gonna go, all right, $100. No takers. About 50. Okay, well, and that's, I guess 50.
So-
My shit's worth $50.
Yeah, man, you got to be what people are willing to pay
And-
as well.
Anna
That's
brings
just
up
what it
a
is.
good point right here. So, which makes her wonder why they charge so much for SIGs.
Because she
I
said that some of the top artists have several real estates.
True. Well, I think that based on the trends that you see in CGC sales, if you get a 9.8 on an insanely popular key or variant or cover or whatever it is, and those books signed CGC 9.8 go for like 250, 350, 500, 700, which some of them can, like, then it, as an artist, I would go, well, okay, I'm going to charge for my signature.
But
One of
CGC again,
like, there's
CGC
one
changed the game
example
with the
that's
whole thing
like they did.
during
Like,
during
what's his
COVID.
name? That something is killing the children variant.
Drake Taylor. Yeah. Good point.
DeCall.
Jeff DeCall, yeah.
Jeff DeCall. He charges specifically more just to sign that particular book, which I think is fair.
A lot of people do that. Bob McLeod will charge you more for like a freaking New
Iron Man
Mutant
key.
one than.
But I understand what Dan and maybe even Issue is saying. There should be a lane for the people who are not whales, who are not selling and flipping.
There is a lane for them.
Who have these books, bought them off the rack, just love the artist, and it's. I understand that these artists have to make their money, and I'm not against that in any sort of way. But it's kind of sad that somebody who doesn't have that sort of income can't get a page from their favorite artist, or you know what I mean, or
They can't get a SIG
for an
They just
affordable
can't.
price.
I think that's why they start.
I don't
I
agree.
think that's why they offer so many different tiers of things now. Like,
I don't agree with you, Fable, at all. I
What,
don't.
in what point?
I think there's a
that
balance.
is sad that someone who can't get it back. Listen, man, couldn't everybody get Picasso?
Picasso
Everybody-
wasn't even. That's not even apples to oranges. Picasso
No, my
wasn't
point
even.
is,
He
my
died
point is-
before he got famous. I'm
No,
talking
but
about
true.
while
my
we're
point
here.
is my point, but it's an
That's true.
example, right? My point is, you can't always some things are at a premium, and some things are out of people's price range, especially if an artist values their work and people are going to pay for it. Like, yo, if that's listen, I'm as valuable.
I prefaced it by saying that get your money before I even
No,
said.
no,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
said
yeah,
there's
yeah,
a part of me that still feels bad, even
Yeah.
though I know that they should be getting
Yeah.
their money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to say, really quick, like, and I get it, right? Because like
I
huge
agree with
fan.
Anna's comment 1,000,000%. I think there's a balance to everything. We're never going to get anywhere if we make the argument all the way on one side or the other. You're right. I mean, there is people with money who can buy shit that people without money can't buy. But I don't think the people without money should be punished. And I don't think that going to a con requires you to save for 6 months just to go to your con.
Yeah, because we're not talking about like, okay, if you can't afford a Lamborghini, you could still buy a car.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but if you can't afford a page, you can still buy a remark.
But you could still buy a page too. You just might not be able to buy a page from Jim Lee. You know what I'm saying? You could buy a page from the guy who just came out a couple months ago.
I can't
You know
afford
what
a
I mean?
page, and I only shop. I just can't afford a page, right? Like I couldn't afford the Jenny Frisson cover art that came into my shop the other day. I mean, I could, but from a retail perspective, what am I gonna do? Remember, Sam, I said to you for the 2,500 he was asking, it's gonna sit in my shop because I can't sell it. I'd just rather have the $25 cash sitting in my bank account.
Correct.
But this is the funny thing. Money is perspective is a bitch, because if you go on Facebook and all these comic groups and people will say, hey, everybody, there's always a post.
I like what Jason said.
What is your most favorite? What's your most prized book? What's the most expensive book you have? And then people will drop, the FF1s and the DDs and all that. And one guy will drop maybe a $300 book, $200 book, and they say, this is my most valuable book because it's all I could afford.
Anna,
right?
DM us if you want the info. We could get you in contact with the seller.
Yeah,
if you're actually interested.
Yeah, if you're really interested. It was
I Hate Fairyland, Volume 2, number 1.
It was beautiful. Yep. Her bet to me, and I like Jenny Frisson, but I also think Jenny Frisson phones it in quite a lot. Like, I think a lot of her covers are the same. This was that cover, the pencils, it was great. And it was the original. It was the original piece. It was really great. I didn't get it because I couldn't afford. The person wanted 25 for it. It was a steal. I was like, I guess a good deal, but I personally couldn't afford it because I don't have a market for it. Like I couldn't, I couldn't do anything. With
As a collector of art,
all over that.
I don't know what I would do with it. Ish, like I've got a lot of stuff. Like I don't. It doesn't have a place in my collection.
Fucking $25. I get that in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of her best. It was one of her best because it was the I Hate Fairyland. I don't really like I Hate Fairyland, the comic.
Yeah.
You guys know, Sam, I'm not a fan of that. I like Scotty Young. I'm just not a fan of that particular book.
I gotta. This is the greatest part about what we do in this community. Everybody here is eclectic with what they collect. Everyone knows what I collect, right? Everybody knows. I can tell you what Fable collects, right? I know what he's a fan of. I know what Sam. I know what Dan. He's a reader, so he collects anything that's good and it's a good read, right? And he has that stuff. J-Rob, I don't talk to. So the funny thing is that we collect what we collect what we want, we collect what we want. So like on my wall, something modern doesn't work. It doesn't fly. It's not. I don't even want it, even if it is a modern key. It's not my thing. But yet we talked about if it is expensive, somebody's going to buy it. If it is marginally priced, someone's going to buy it. Like I was going back earlier, when that person will say, this is my most valuable book and it's a $200 book, and people are like, that's nothing. Well, that's what that dude or that woman could afford. That's their most prized book because, hey, that's the most I could. What's the most? You'll see that post. What's the most you ever spent for a book? Someone said 300, and
Shout
others are like 21,000. I mean, it's what you can afford, but yet at the end of everything, it makes your ass happy, and that's all it's about. So if you can get a SIG for $3,000, but you take it home and it's your prized possession, cool. You know what I'm saying?
What, as we've been on this thing, I've been looking at Anna's Instagram. I would pay a fortune for that thing. That is amazing.
Yeah, Anna has
no. Anna's a great artist. I mean,
dude, no joke.
I think it was last year. I think it was Anna, right? That we had her on, and she did a charity. We do a lot of live charity, live drawing, and then they auction it off during the show. And Anna did one for charity for an animal facility at Dell local place, and and Anna was chewing it up and drawing the whole time. And
God,
I don't know Anna at all besides her work, but like I see Anna active on everything on Facebook. So I think one of the most active artists in the community.
But I think
is
have a lot of mutual friends.
Absolutely incredible.
She always pops up on mine as well. I think
always. Yep.
Yeah.
No, Anna's she's a friend of the show, just like Aaron Bartley and Ryan Kincaid. All those people.
Look at that! Damn it! Like I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You're done. That's it. That's it. Now that Wonder Woman's complete, you got to do Wonder Woman sketches.
Why?
That's it.
There you go. Yeah,
she feel about Wonder Woman.
She did a rogue. She did a rogue as a cat for the auction.
She got any storm covers on her?
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, there's everything on here.
She's Azhao Art on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just
following. No, go give that woman a follow. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Really
I just did. I just followed you.
She's dang it.
Anna is a friend.
Don't follow her. Don't follow her because then her page are going to be $8 million for the next fucking con.
It's your fault, Dan.
She said yes, Storm. Can y'all show me Anna Storm? Fine. Somebody, Dan, color guy. You do the work.
I'm looking.
You're known for it. Find the Storm.
But I found magic.
As a matter of fact, Anna, and I'm gonna hit you up soon because I'm planning on doing an all-female show again.
Man, I swear.
That magic
can't
is
see
dope.
it.
But I definitely want to see the Storm.
So yeah, and I'm gonna hit you up soon because I'm planning on doing an all-female show again. So I'm gonna contact you.
This is the 21st century. So who's gonna host it, or are you gonna put on your? You're gonna.
Hey! Don't ask questions. Don't ask.
Me, fool! I'm gonna host it.
Damn! When he shows up with his hairpiece, And his
I don't think
heels.
it's fair to
He's
have
like,
Anna
my
on
name
an
is
all-female show. I wanna
Benita
be on that
Blanco from
show.
the Bronx. I'm Benita Blanco from the Bronx.
Hey, you have the freedom to do that, Caesar. I support you, man.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you
Benita
so much.
Blanco from the Bronx.
Thank
So
you,
anyway,
thank you.
yeah, definitely find me the storm. I want to see the storm. Do you do? We do exclusive covers around here, Anna.
No, listen, she's always up for it. I'll tell you that right now. She's always up, man. You know, all right, you got something there?
Ooh, that
Okay, hold
road.
on.
The
Let me
road.
see.
Whoa, hold on. Oh, she did all the She got Mohawk Storm in there.
There we
Oh,
go.
there you go.
Is that a jam or is that all her?
I don't know if that's all her. I'm scrolling through.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Mohawk.
I would like to do jam pieces. I think jam pieces are pretty affordable because they're small.
Jam.
Very
Oh,
much so.
jam.
That one
Jam.
last
Oh,
year.
jam.
That's beyond everyone on here. It's just too old for everyone on here, Caesar. Only me and you. Oh, J Rob.
J-Rob gets it. Teddy jam for me. Yeah. All right, so this is the thing, people. We're at that
Wait a
moment
minute,
in that
you
moment
listened
of
to
time.
black people music growing up, Caesar?
Oh, are you kidding me? I was all over Guy and you
Yo,
name
he
it.
said guy. Yo, everything the reference I made earlier. What was the
He
reference I
loved
made?
Nat King
I
Cole.
think you're the only one who knew. What was the
He
reference?
loved Nat King
Huh?
Cole. That was his
The
favorite.
reference
the
I
only
made
one who
last
knew.
week. Hollywood Shuffle. You wasn't
Hollywood,
on.
he killed it, the
Rob.
man. He
You wasn't
killed
on
it,
the
the man.
screen.
You were on the
Last
screen.
week.
Well, he was on the comments, but
Well, I was like, he was
Hollywood
my
Shuffle.
brother.
He was my brother. I
My
loved it, the
main-
man. My main man. No, I watched all that stuff and the music. I was kidding me. I was a Teddy Pendergrass foe growing up. I tell you what, guys, we're reaching the end of the line here, and all that's all. That's
Ooh,
a
That
good
is
one.
dope.
That's beautiful.
Yo,
That's a good one.
what's that color pencil? Like that's dope.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
in
beautiful.
disclosure,
Stop it.
this is actually my drawing. She didn't draw this. I did this.
Oh, you're okay. Wow. That's
Okay,
what you're
Anna.
doing, huh? So, all right.
Throw Dana to the bottom.
No, I threw him out. Period. So this is the thing. Okay, we're finally getting to the end of the show, right? And this is the part where we everyone does their plugs and all that good stuff. But I got to tell you, it was an interesting show because we talked about a lot of things. I feel like, right, Fable. We captured a lot of stuff. We talked about some cover swipes, some controversy. We
The
talked
Superman
about
trailer.
we didn't even talk about the Superman trailer.
Superman.
Well,
trailer.
I
I hope
tell
you got your crypto book in the mail.
Caesar, Dell got his gratuitous black people diss in, which he does like every week.
Yeah.
When is
He
he gonna
did
get
that.
canceled? Because he be treading some. Listen,
Well, listen, that's why he only does an hour because I think it's anything more than that. That fool's going to be canceled quicker than anything else. But I will say, since we have a few more minutes,
Did you
quickly talk about the Superman trailer? They, as much as I love it, they got to stop. I don't want to see any more shit. I don't want to see any more things of the movie. Stop already.
don't watch them?
Everything. I know, and I'm an idiot.
Well,
I'm
watch 'em.
gonna watch the fucking trailer. I'm a fucking moron.
he has to watch the trailer.
What are you doing? What is that? Stop.
It's
What does it
his
say?
Storm Commission.
It's his storm.
Oh, that's Storm.
I like it, J. Rob.
J-Rob, it's disgusting. Put it away. So this is the thing, guys.
That's going for 1,000.
So this is the thing. I kind of really, I know I'm a sucker because I gotta watch these trailers because I gotta be in the know. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to see it because everything that I saw in the latest trailer, which I think it's pretty good, I wanted to be surprised in the movie when the first time I saw it. So I'm trying to not watch. When's it coming out? June something? Is it coming out next month?
July 11th.
Oh, for fuck's sake. When is Fantastic Four coming out then?
July 20 something.
Oh shit. Okay.
July's gonna be crazy, bro.
The Milkbone.
July's
comic?
going to be July's a nerd's.
I'm more
nerd's
excited about
orgasm.
Superman than Fantastic Four. I know that sounds terrible. I'm sorry, but I am.
You see, you can win a chance to go to the Superman premiere if you buy. What was the book that's coming up?
Adventure Comics something one or what was it? It was Adventure Comics 10.
DC's giving a chance basically in one of the upcoming Superman books to get a chance to
That's
go to
the
the
original
premiere.
piece, Taylor.
I have a dog.
Hey.
My dog is dope, but I would have bought it if I didn't have a dog.
I is that the first appearance of that's the first appearance of Crypto, right?
No,
What-
this is so.
Yo,
This book.
this is a Dick Tracy question. Is this?
Oh, okay,
was that the
okay.
first
No,
appearance
no,
of
no.
Dick Tracy?
This
Put
is
yourself at
what
the
Ish
bottom.
what Ish posted. So in his group, he tipped everyone
Oh.
off to this Milk Bone promotion. So you buy a box of dog treats, and
And
they
you get
sent
that.
you also this super limited Superman and Crypto
Pun intended.
comic.
That's so
Which is-
cool.
Kind of going
I-
crazy right now.
But I gotta tell you, I'm excited. I told the wife we're going, and she's like, "Fuck," you know. And
You don't put
It's
yourself at the
Superman. She's
bottom
not
for
excited?
asking if that was the first appearance.
Caesar.
no,
You
I
think-
know it wasn't full.
Caesar, I'm taking my wife tomorrow to Kiki's Delivery Service, the Studio Ghibli Fest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
that's
I mean,
a
you think
great
your wife's like,
movie.
fuck. My wife's gonna be looking at me like, what the hell are you bringing me to?
I,
here?
I'm,
Really?
I'm
That's a
telling.
great
Nino
film.
Cooney? Have you ever played
All
Nino Cooney?
ages, all people.
Dan, have you ever played Nino Cooney? Do you play
That's a
video
great game.
Yeah,
I
Nino
don't play
Cooney,
video games.
hell
I get-
yeah.
I get,
Yes.
they make me seasick.
One
It's
and two.
Studio Ghibli in a video game.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I
It's
wish I could play that.
fantastic.
You can everywhere.
Listen, you're fucking nerds.
I know.
Caesar
All of
hates
you
it.
guys.
He
I
hates it.
I despise sometimes bringing you all on because when it gets to the end of the show, the nerdgasms that you guys fucking give off are stupid, ridiculous. So listen, I'm just talking about Superman here. Then Dan has to come in. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get Studio Ghibli. So we get. I'm
I
gonna
hate you, Caesar.
You know what, Dan? Change your fucking name to Studio Ghibli because that's. I think they're paying you money
Movies
because
would
you have to
change your
drop.
life, Caesar.
You drop Studio Ghibli's name at least one time this fucking
he
podcast.
does.
No, no, no.
Have you
Yeah,
watched?
I'm gonna
does do
take you to
that.
one of these movies when you are forced to read the subtitles, so you have to fucking read.
Caesar,
Wait,
this comes because I don't understand how you can host the show with your aversion to nerddom. And it all started when you didn't like Goonies as a kid, and then you grew up to not read comics.
Mhm.
And
Let him
now
have
you
it,
are
Ish. You
hosting
tell him,
the
Ish.
Comic Menu podcast.
And now look at me. I'm on top of the world, Ma. You know,
Wait,
you know what I'm
You've
saying?
never seen any movies from Studio Ghibli?
Oh, he
I don't.
had
Know,
to,
I
had
thought
to hit us
Studio.
with
I thought Studio Ghibli was a fucking new candy that you bought.
We
I
should
don't know
do
what the fuck-
Dan. We gotta just
Oh,
find like
God.
clips, just reels
And
of
just
some of the
vomit.
stuff,
Just
and do
vomit.
reactions
I have
from
seen
Caesar, and then force him to watch
Ghibli
a movie.
I just
Yeah.
say
I'm
y'all
just letting
fuck
you
up
know,
his
Caesar.
internet.
Listen,
If
listen.
you don't like to read, that's fine.
It-
But the fact that you like movies, and I know you like movies, and you've never seen one
Yeah, come on.
Ghibli
dude.
movie, that's
Yeah.
crazy. to me.
Yeah,
I
watched
told
Spirited
you
Away.
morons. I already told you morons that the last movie that the last anime I
Oh.
saw was Fist of the North Star. I mean, that was
Akira?
like that.
Yo, when do you get to be unbiased and put yourself at the when do you put yourself on timeout? In the last, you talk about how you hate the end of these shows, but you come to the end of these shows and you have all these timeout moments, all these don't stand in the corner moments that you just have just right after the other, just boom, boom. I don't like Studio Ghibli. Boom, boom. I don't Goonies. Boom.
I don't like Goonies. I
Like,
don't like
yo,
Goonies.
you guys are
Yeah,
nerds. What is that?
you know
kind of-
the,
If you've only
know-
seen Fist of the North Star, what have you seen anime wise?
oh no, other than whatever it was back in the 90s that was very popular. I saw Akira a long time
Bambi
ago.
was
Fist
an
of the North
anime.
Star.
Damn.
Vampire Hunter D.
It's
That's
like I
it.
saw
That's
The
it. I think
Lion
Vampire
King.
Hunter D.
Damn.
Wicked City. I think I saw Wicked City a long time ago. You know, there's stuff that I would watch as a kid, and it was cool. It was
Wait,
entertaining.
did you
man.
watch Grave of the Fireflies then? Because that was
What the fuck are you out of here?
Don't make
Come
that
on,
your
don't-
first
don't-
movie.
That is the saddest movie ever.
It is
Don't
the
watch
saddest
that.
movie, but it's
Yeah.
just
Okay.
saying, it's from that era.
Go watch Princess Mononoke.
Apocalypse of the
We
Cockroach.
just reviewed Mononoke last night. Mononoke is a fantastic film.
So good.
So good.
It's not gonna. It's not
So
gonna
good.
happen.
We're gonna do
I'm very
reaction
picky.
viewing.
Oh, one of those
That'll
reactions.
be the
like
whole
it, Caesar.
stream.
Did you see
The whole
Ninja
stream.
Scroll?
We'll watch the movie, and it will just be a Caesar reaction.
Listen,
Caesar,
the
I'll
closest
bring
I'm gonna
up the
get.
popcorn bucket with the hole in the bottom you like, and you'll watch it.
Oh, you son of a bitch! Now you got me.
We went
That's how
back to
he'll
the
do it,
popcorn
right?
buckets.
You son of a bitch! Now I'm in.
It's gotta be Mexican street corn.
I'm in.
I'll bring the Kojita.
All right. I tell you what. Don't you ever tempt me like that for with the good time, you son of a bitch. Because I'm bringing the red vines. assholes.
We did
So-
catch the top of the world reference there. See, that's what you were doing.
Thank you. So this is the thing, gentlemen.
Uh,
Man, I'm telling you, every single time before the end of the show, we're all going to see Superman, right? We're all in. Who are we all going to theaters and watching it?
100%.
Except for J Rob.
I am.
come on,
J Rob, are
everybody.
you the only one?
No, I might go see it. Depends on my mood. I didn't
You know-
say I didn't like it. I'm just not all super hyped about it.
Is J Rob that 1%er? That one dude who's it's cool to not like it?
No, if it
I
was
never said I didn't like it.
if this was the 80s or the 90s, he would be on his way to the movies to watch it. It's not. He's but if it was the late 80s, early 90s, he would be going to watch it.
I didn't say I'm not going to watch it. I say I may. I'm just not all head over heels over it. It
Listen,
hasn't
That's fair.
impressed me.
But
The close-
we grew up in Kim Bailey. He's not a 1%er.
the closest I get to is like Blue Eyed Samurai because that I enjoyed very much. So I mean, I'm in
I'm
for that
done
kind
with
of
you.
stuff.
First of all,
Dude.
it's great. It's great. It's
I'm
really
just saying.
great. But that's
I
like
like
so
it.
recent.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do
cool.
I think Jurassic
a new
Park is gonna
stream
wipe
called
the
Caesar
floor with
Watches
both of
Anime.
them. Yeah,
I hate Jurassic Park. I
Hold-
cannot
hold
get
on.
through the first film.
Peter, truth
I-
is the truth. It's been under
Someone did say, what did you say, Fable? You're looking forward to Jurassic Park?
No, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not a Jurassic Park fan, but I think Jurassic Park, which also comes out in July, is going to wipe the floor with both of them.
Oh, money wise.
Money wise problem.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
quite possible, yeah.
Yeah.
Not wrong
Another
in that.
movie not hyped about.
I didn't feel Cyberpunk,
Storyline.
but I did feel. I mean, I did feel Cyberpunk.
I felt Arcane the first season of
Yeah,
Arcane.
second season,
I couldn't finish it. I left it in the mid. I just couldn't. We couldn't
what
get
do you
it.
think
It
about
didn't
the
draw
new
me
season
in.
of Castlevania.
What's
I
that?
heard that was
The
good.
new
I haven't
season of
seen it.
Castlevania. The new
Solo
one.
good.
leveling.
Not
so
not
good.
not the one. Not
So
the is
good.
it called Requiem? The first one.
The first one is phenomenal, but the
Yeah,
new
it's great.
the new one.
I haven't seen any of the
What's the one that
Castlevanias.
just came out called?
I don't know what it's called, but it's dope.
Studio
I
Ghibli.
like the first one.
Yeah, the first one is phenomenal, but
Yeah.
the new one is really
You're
dope
right,
too.
Peter.
With the blood countess, it's like really dope.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Studio Ghibli.
Not-
It's
not-
like-
not-
Yeah. Not
not-
turning
Caesar.
I swear.
These
You
are
know what?
Solo
It's
Leveling
like-
goes without
TV.
mentioning, Sam.
What?
Solo Leveling goes without mentioning, but
Solo
Free Rent
Leveling
is
is
really
so
good
good.
too right now. I
So
don't know if
good.
you're checking out Free Rent; it's really good.
Did anybody
Surprising.
watch that cartoon called Pantheon?
Mm-mm.
You
Is
gotta
it by
tell me
Studio
about it.
Ghibli?
I watch so much. You got to tell me about it. Oh, it's new on Netflix. It's the newest one on Netflix.
It's not new,
They
but
start off on the train.
it started
right?
out really good, and then it didn't end that great.
Yeah, they start off like on a train. They're like in some sort of mock military, and then all of a sudden, no, that's a different one. Never mind.
What are you trying to say, Dan? Are you basically giving us a warning to not see it because it's
No,
not
it was
good?
it was really good till like the last maybe 3 episodes. It was really good.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, when it
But I
doesn't
would
stick
say
the
watch it.
landing, like
No, I-
it did
Demon-
not
Demon
stick the
Slayer.
landing. No,
You guys have to understand too that
Fair.
I live with someone who's not into this shit, so I'm not into that shit too. So that's just the way it is. I can't live in this fucking room.
you've got to
all the
mold
time.
her, Caesar. You got to bring her to your way.
Are you kidding me? You know how long it fucking molded me for her to grab her to watch Marvel and all the DC movies?
I
Don't
I'm
have, her
shocked.
watch, don't have her watch Demon Slayer. I wanted to punch the TV in the face. I wish my TV had a face. Listen, man, when I got to the season where they turned the train ride, the movie into a season because they were phoning
I
it in,
couldn't-
yo, I was like, what am I doing?
I'm not caught up
Wasn't
because
this
I
just
just
a movie?
couldn't keep going.
Yo, instead of they did a
Couldn't
movie,
keep
right?
going.
And instead of giving us another season, they're like, hey, we're just gonna take this movie that you already watched and we're gonna chop it up and we're gonna make it a season and make
What?
you watch it. Yo, I was mad. I was like, yo, this is not season worthy. I gotta watch you on a train for like 5 episodes. You gonna call it a whole season?
All right.
Give me back my money that I didn't give you. I want my ratings time back.
Let's say our goodbyes, you sons of bitches. J Rob, do you have anything to say before you'll be the
Yeah,
first
well,
one? Do you have anything?
court. Yeah, I'll be on
What?
pickleball court. Looking for
I'll
me.
be a pick. Oh, I don't even know why I fucking bother with you. Where's the other one at? Where's
I
the other
feel
guy?
you, Anna. Like, what the WTF?
All right, Dan, go ahead and drop some stuff.
Well, first of all, I just want to tell you, I really do enjoy getting to chat with all of you, and to chat with the people that joined in the comments too. It's just this is it's therapy for me. The Comic Menu podcast. Thank you, Caesar, for always having me on, and Fable, Sam, Dell, Ish, J. Rob, love you guys. I really do appreciate your opinions, and I learn as much from you as I hope you get anything out of me. But I learned a ton from you guys. So if you don't find me here, you can find me on Instagram, Tree City Comics. Every Wednesday, new comic book day. I'm posting about the books I'm reading, some of the books I'm reading. Spoiler. So if you're going to read them, you might not want to check out my post on Wednesday. But if you're interested, I'm happy to connect with you on Instagram. Every other week with the Comic Underground, we have our Off the Rack segment where we discuss the books we're reading. And it might not be new comics. It could be old books as well. So, you'll won't really find me on Facebook that much, but you'll always find me on Instagram, Tree City Comics. And I hope we can connect there.
All right, very good. Let's go with how about sound? There you go, sound. What do you got?
Hey,
going,
everybody.
Bill?
This was the best part of my week so far, so thank you. You can find me sometimes on here when Caesar allows me to cause some chaos with the crew here every Tuesday. But you can find me on Comic Sam Collects on Instagram. I'm posting pickups that I have every single week. My collecting focus is mainly a lot of modern variants. That's what I love. But I do vintage stuff too and big keys. But if you just want to talk shop, hit me up. You could see some of my comic art collection on Comic Art Fans under Comic Sam. And you catch me selling some of this stuff on Whatnot under the username Comic Sam, because I got to fund the hobby with the hobby,
There you go. All right, Fable. What up? Stage.
First off, yeah, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure hanging with you guys. Great conversation, and what a great chat tonight as well. Really appreciate it. I'm at One Collection Down on Instagram, One Collection Down on YouTube. I do a little Friday night live where we talk about news and stuff like that. Right now I'm on hiatus, but we'll be back sometime in June. But yeah, just follow me, One Collection Down, Instagram or YouTube. And thanks again, Caesar, and all of you guys, really. All of you guys are amazing. You guys are so knowledgeable and, just great thoughts on the industry. So I had a great time.
Yeah. Fantastic. I like when the word knowledgeable and Caesar is at the same time. Ish.
About you.
Yo, what up, people? I'm that dude. And I can say I'm that dude, and I always say that I'm dude, and I have no reason to be humble. I can always say that I'm that dude because I judge myself by the quality of the people that choose to be around me. And many of the people in this room I've been around plenty of times, and they're just dope, high-class people. I've known Jay my whole life, Sam. We live in the same town together. We do a lot of things together. Fable, always appreciate you. Dan, I love you. Caesar, I love you. And the fact that I keep getting invited here and I keep hanging out with people that I consider to be better than me validates that I'm that dude. And as such, I also happen to be the Robin Hood of the unfair market. I am the owner proprietor of Comic Sense. Y'all, those who are in the chat, y'all know what I do. I want you to win. You can catch me every Tuesday on Facebook. Bringing you the best value on the unfair market on new books, keys, and spec. That means 90% of what I bring to the market is 50% off or 2 for the price of 1, or because I really want you to win in this game. You can find me on Instagram at IssueX, ISHUE.X. You can find me at Ishmavens on Facebook. You can find me at Comic Sense on Facebook in the group and a page. That is what it is. Shout out to Caesar D. Morales, and I want to say this really quick before I bounce. Every week, Caesar Morales and Del Guzman, the Comic Menu Podcast, they bring you this show every week without fail, week in and week out. Dope content, dope guests, dope people in the chat. Listen, if you're watching this on Facebook, go over to the YouTube page, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down, click play on the video for at least 3 seconds. Don't do nothing. Do something to keep them in the algorithm, to show appreciation so that they can grow their channel on YouTube. Pay it back.
Well, what a fine gentleman. I got to tell you, I surround myself, and I say it every single time, I surround myself with good people because I like it. I want to. Me and Dell, we've built this community with on the backs of very good people, and we wouldn't be here without you guys. But that being said, yes, you can catch me on the Instagrams, still doing reels and voiceovers that I drop for promotions and all that stuff. Yeah, you'll be starting seeing a promotion very soon. Yes.
Is Jay chop liver?
Why? Did I say something about Jay? Or not say anything about Jay?
He didn't mention.
That's
me.
fine.
That's
He
what
didn't,
he
get
does.
to, he didn't even get to talk. He didn't even get to say goodbye to the people.
He did. He said he has pickleball.
The
He
second
did.
one.
Where was I? I didn't hear none of that.
Exactly.
You ain't paying. Apparently, I'm chopped liver. You ain't
I'm
paying
just looking out for my little brother, man.
No, it's J Rob. I mean, come on. So in case you guys are wondering, yes, I do voiceovers, and soon you'll probably start hearing a promo for Iconicon coming soon. So
I don't go to cons. I'm just gonna create a con. Called Iconicon. That's what it is.
I'm telling you, it's kind of like that's all you're going to hear on Instagram for a long time is Iconicon coming soon in a world where cons. Right. So
Statham promotes.
what? Who's that? Stupid.
Yo,
See,
no,
this is-
seriously though, he's being real. Iconicon is coming. It is gonna be the first con that I've ever done, I've ever produced. I don't really go to cons, but Sam is involved. J Rob's been helping out. Caesar's gonna do some promos and video. Listen, man, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be the first one I've done here in Western New York. It's gonna be the first of many. And they're already getting at me. Sam will tell you, they're like, yo, charge more. Because I'm charging vendors $15 because I want retailers to be successful. You know what I mean? Like I want them to actually succeed. So like,
and no admission.
And no admission.
You said West New York?
Yeah, and
Yep.
kids leave with something free. Kids, my shop is already that way.
And we've
Where's
got
West-
Come to my shop without leaving with
in
something
Buffalo.
free. But
Oh,
kids will
Buffalo.
leave that con free
Yeah.
too, with
And we've
something
got
free as well.
Come on down,
an
Fable.
insane amount of
Yeah,
vendors
man, I'm
already
in the
committed.
Bronx. I could take the train up. It'll take about 6 hours, but
Yo, come on down. Come hang, man. Come hang. Iconicon June 29th.
Oh, yeah.
Again, if
Yeah.
you're a vendor, let me know. Because again, $15 is the table, no entrance fee. We're gonna have a table set up. So I want to make sure every kid who comes can leave with something for free.
What you guys don't know is that it's just flying me out there. I want to be doing
I'm not.
voiceover
I'm not.
pro signatures.
It's not.
$700 for a signature.
I'm
But
not.
you don't even have to buy anything from a shop. It's just $700.
Not gonna
And
do it.
and I'll do like I'll leave a voice
and a
note for you.
cameo.
What'd
Yeah,
she say?
voice
I'll
note.
do a voiceover for your girlfriend, whatever.
I can
I'm in.
imitate my favorite character on Family Guy. No,
Which one's that?
no.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all she ever said. The Mexican maid. She just
Oh.
no.
No, she goes, hi, Mr. Peter.
Oh yeah, she says that too, but she mostly says no.
All right,
No,
you
no.
guys. Okay, all right. This is stupid. I should have ended the show like 10 minutes ago. I appreciate you guys. So next week we got the Comic Menu Murder Mystery Show with Shannon Kincaid and Mandy Michaels and Dell, and we're gonna talk about the new stream that we're talking about murder shows, murder cases. It's something different that we do once a month, and we normally do it the first of the month, but for time constraints, we moved it to the back only for this month. But yeah, man, this is fun
Message me.
as
He said,
always.
We're not doing the murder mystery this week. I'm like, the what? He's like, the murder mystery. Okay, I got it. Okay.
All right, everybody. Let's have a good one.